Hold on to your mug. We're in for a wild night.
Welcome everybody to episode 81 of Born to Be Wild, a Wild exclusive Hearthstone podcast where we have fun hanging out with friends, talking about the Wild format of Hearthstone and spotlighting members of the Wild community. I'm your host, as always, Nate Wolf. It is good to be back on a beautiful fall evening here in Portland, Oregon. Of course, joined by two of my great friends. Hydra Sheep, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing awesome, coming at you guys from the greater Vancouver area. It's a bit of a dark, dreary night, but I'm looking forward to having a great show. You guys always brighten up my day, so I'm really happy to be here tonight, guys.
Awesome. And of course, welcome back, Electric Sheep City. How you doing tonight?
Meowdy, doing pretty good myself. I'm really jealous of this seasons thing that y'all seem to have. Being in Southeast Texas, I sent Nate some pictures outside of my office, and it looks like summer to him. It doesn't feel quite like summer, but yeah, it's definitely not fall here quite yet. Hopefully, we eventually get one of those. Fingers crossed.
I hope so. I'll be pulling for you. Well, everybody, we've got a really special guest joining us tonight. I'm very excited to introduce Wild Legendary Hearthstone player and Murloc Paladin expert joining us all the way from Brazil. Welcome to the show, Eltinho. How are you doing today?
Hi, hello. It's a great honor to be here because I have been listening to the Born to Be Wild podcast for a few months now.
Awesome.
And there was those times when you were chatting with the guests, and I say, well, what would I say if I was there? Okay, now it's my time.
That's awesome.
And what this thing the Sheep City said about seasons, we don't get those here as well. Here, with dry hot and moist hot.
I resemble that remark.
Right? I was going to say, that's how I spent most of my life in California, and that's pretty much how it is. It just feels like summer all year round. And so I've been in Oregon for the past, 5+ years now. And it's just a little bit different. It's still West Coast, but we've got the seasons here. And what I like about it is it's more mild than, we're not talking about like East Coast seasons where it's like crazy winter and stuff. We get it pretty mild here, but in the fall, like the temperature right now is probably in the 60s. All the leaves have changed colors. They're starting to fall off. In the winter, it'll get a little bit colder. We get a lot of rain here.
What's wrong with your trees?
That is how it is. Well, hey, Eltinho, it's been great. I'm really excited to get you on the show. Been following your adventures with Murloc Paladin for a long time here, and
more than a year now.
Right? Yeah, I'm excited to talk about it. But before we get into that, if you could, a little bit, for people who may not be as familiar with you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, just as much or as little as you would like to share?
Yeah, my name is Elton, and if you know from Brazil, it's very common to add Inho or Zinho at the end of the name, so Eltinho. I'm a 38 years old gamer, and to me, it started back in 1996 with Magic. I've played Magic since then, and I was kind of, I say semi-pro because we have a kind of hard logistic problems here in Brazil. Player abroad is hard for us. We don't have so many opportunities. So as much as I could be a pro player of Magic here, I did in the 20s. I played. I was 2-time Brazilian Nationals runner-up. I lost.
Wow.
Managed to lose the finals of the Magic Championship in 2004, 2006. But those championships, they gave tickets to events abroad. So I played some events. I played Worlds in San Francisco, New York, Paris, and I got to meet the world through Magic.
Wow, that's really so cool.
That does sound like magic.
That part of the game, the gathering, match the gathering part's the best part. Being one of the few people here that was able to travel the world because of Magic. Man, I got to Hawaii because of Magic. I never thought I could go to another country, but then I went to Europe and I visited many places in the USA. But by the start of the 2010s, things were slowing for me. I had to the job was taking place. I was getting married, so I took a break from Magic. And in 2014, I was playing WoW. When I stopped playing Magic, something had to fuel the addiction, right?
Yeah.
And I got a friend say, "Oh, this new card game Blizzard is releasing," and it was May. It was just the Hearthstone was released in April 2014, right? So I started playing the next month, and since then I've never stopped playing. I play all my classes every day since.
Wow.
And I've got Legend just next Aramas with Undertaker Hunter.
Of course you did.
It was a very stupid deck by that time. Undertaker was ridiculous. So I've played since then. In 2016, I have a cousin that was working with translation jobs for games and ebooks. And he said there's a lot of League of Legends ebooks, but none Hearthstones in Portuguese. So I wrote a guide in strategy guide in Portuguese. It's still available on Amazon.
Oh wow, that's cool.
It's still updated. I update it at each new set. I just add something to it. So if you speak Portuguese, there's a guide there if you're gonna check out. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. And last year, Neon 31 from Hearthstone Decks posted a wild version of the Murloc decks, and I played that. I used to play that deck in Standard for like as much as I could because Tip the Scales it became my favorite card when it was released. And I've tried to part the deck back then in Wild, but it was dead to Secret Mage, and Secret Mage was everywhere.
Yes.
So I just dropped it. But when I saw this version, because it has High Abyss Allura, it made the difference. Now you had 3 ways to cheat out Tip the Scales. Oh, okay, this seems fine, and was just not fine. The deck was winning, so it was an off meta deck, but I was managed to go get as higher in Wild Ladder as I have never been before. So my highest rank ever in Wild or in Hearthstone ever was playing Tape Murlocs. I think April this year. I peaked at number 3. I ended the month number 4.
Wow.
And since last September, the only time I haven't played Murlocs in Wild was the last day when Odd Shaman was still with the spell damage totem. So I said, okay, I'm gonna have to waste this one last day because it's something that I won't have a chance ever. But except for that day, I have been playing in Wild just Murlocs.
Got to send off Odd Shaman off with style.
Right.
Yeah. It was fun deck.
And then you could still. It was glitched for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah,
You could still get the spell damage totem.
I found that later if you have the other portraits like Morgul, I think, and the Thunder King, you could still have the totem. Yeah.
So what was it about Murloc Paladin that drew you to the deck? Why did you like playing it?
I like to cheat Tip the Scales.
It is incredible mana cheat. Yeah.
I'm a simple man with simple taste, so I like to see the table full of Murlocs. Yeah, because I have been always competitive, and I think my team side, I never really enjoyed that side of just casting big spells before and just for fun. And there was the land steep deck in standard before, you could do that. Well, I'd say, okay, this is fun. I like this. And when I had the opportunity to do that in wild and still keeping a winning tracks, well, that's what drives me. And and there's the challenge, right? Because I know if I play a real meta deck, I can do better. But what are my goals in Hearthstone these days? I think I don't have the time to go pro with Hearthstone and play for extended periods of time. I think I'm the opposite of the regular player. I play less on weekends than on weekdays because usually I have the weekends for family stuff. Because my wife is very busy. She works pretty much all day and has college classes at night. So I have the weekdays for me, and the weekends I play I think just for the quest. So I set this goal. I want to get as high as possible with Murlocs as I can, and I have been doing okay with that. I think the first half of this year I finished every season top 100, top 50. I had to take a break this after July because I got struck with COVID, and that that was a span in the works. But
I remember seeing that. Like, you got hit pretty hard with it, right? Weren't you? You were in the. You said you were in the hospital for 2 months.
I spent 22 days in the hospital. Wow. And but after one thing they don't tell about when you go to the hospital because of COVID is that the post-COVID is hard too, because I still had problem breathing even when I was released. So up to this day, I still have to make some physical therapy every day. So there's some exercise. Now it's I keep the little gadget to to track your oxygenation, and it's okay. Now it's above 95%. But when I left, if I just took a walk from my bedroom to the kitchen, it would drop the saturation. But now it's okay. I've returned to my work, so I'm doing my regular stuff, walking the dog and driving my car. It's okay now.
I'm really glad to see that you recovered, but that sounds like it was quite the long road.
Yeah, and see, I've lost friends. I lost friends with what were younger than me. They died to this, and we have a really serious problem here with how our government was handling the situation. I don't want to get political, but we are ruled by COVID deniers. That's a problem here.
Yeah. Well, and we clearly see it. I mean, if you got hit with it, we've seen it locally too. I mean, no people who have died and everything. I'm just happy that you were able to make a recovery. And I remember talking to you, I think shortly after you were released from the hospital. You were excited to be reunited, I'm sure, with your wife and with your dog as well. And
my wife spent the whole ordeal there with me.
That's amazing.
She wasted her vacation time to be there, but our dog was with friends. So after I got released, the first thing we went to meet our friends, and when I met my dog again, I broke up. I broke in tears because it was a long time.
I bet.
I walk him like 2 times a day, 1 hour each time, because it's a big dog and it has to spend his energy. but it's fine. It's fine now. It was an ordeal, but it's done, and I think I've grown better out of it. There was something before, like I was getting sometimes stressed with the game, like then I took after that I took a new attitude, so I tried not to bother too much. Okay, if I win, that's okay. If I don't, that's okay too.
I'm sure it makes you appreciate things or look at things in a different light for sure.
Oh, it does. It does.
Yeah.
Have a much different perspective. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that
Put
you're
things in perspective.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm so happy that you're doing better now, though. That's great. And let me ask you also about your love for games in general. I know I see your profile picture is from Mega Man, and you've got a love for some of the classic games. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm an old gamer. I love old games more than the new ones. My newest video games is a Wii. I don't, and I have an old NES. I played a lot of old stuff on, even on my cell phone. This a few days ago, I was doing the low-level challenge for Chrono Trigger. It's where you try to finish the game as low as possible, so you end the game with Chrono on level 1, and things like that.
Wow.
I did the same with Final Fantasy 1. My favorite Final Fantasy. Everybody is saying, I like 7. I like it 8. I like Final Fantasy 1.
Oh yeah.
and I did all the challenges you could do there. 4 White Mage Groove solo.
Oh my god, I played that game so many times. I used to play Final Fantasy 1 with like all 4 fighters. 0 magic.
Yeah, the first time I finished, I didn't play when I was young, so it was like a gap on my gaming history. And there was the webcomic 8-Bit Theater. There was a parody of the characters of Final Fantasy 1. So I said I had to make the party the same as that webcomic.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, cool.
I recommend it's fun. It's already over. It's like 1,200 episodes, but
Oh wow,
it's so much fun. It's fun. Yeah. I like the old games. Sometimes I've downloaded some on my Wii, some Genesis games, some Super Nintendo games, just to play old stuff. I like to play old stuff.
I love the platformers in particular, like your Castlevania and Mega Man and Metroid. Like those are my favorite, I think.
I thought I had Final Fantasy 1 sitting on my shelf, but I didn't. I do have Gauntlet though. Gauntlet 2.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd have to pick those above there. I have some there. And man, they were hard. Those games were hard.
Yeah, they were so punishing. The games these days are easy by comparison. So
Oh yeah, especially since now you can just save your game all the time and continue from your save state.
Yeah.
Back in the day, once you're dead, it was game over, man.
And even then, some is too hard. I've tried to finish Battletoads, and I said, okay, I'm going to just save between stages, and I couldn't. There was one stage I couldn't finish. I had to add a checkpoint there because I wasn't able to finish that one stage. I managed to finish all the other 12 stages, but that one, I think it's Java Tubes, the 7th stage. I couldn't finish from start to finish
so
the
hard.
level.
It's hard. It's one of the hardest games.
Yeah,
that was
it's hard.
yeah. I had played Ninja Gaiden on the emulator, and that was the only way I could beat it. Was like saving my game every 30 seconds or whatever.
Yeah,
it's so hard.
that one I managed to get to the final boss, but it's I don't know if it's a bug or whatever it is, but if you die on the final boss and if you lose all your lives, you go back to the stage, the 6th world. So all the other stages you go back to the last stage before the boss, except for the final one. So it's hard because I spent like half an hour just to get to the stage, and then you don't get to replay the boss to get the feel of it. So I couldn't be the final boss of Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, that's rough.
I
That's
beat
rough.
her on emulator. I did, but not on the real stuff.
So
Yeah.
you had mentioned, right, that you were a fan of pixel art.
Oh yeah,
And didn't you say, I believe you said that your wedding invitation was done pixel art style?
yeah. I've just adapted some Mega Man sprites into a bride and I made there. And so
That's so great.
I've actually did the same with Tip the Scales. If you go to my Twitter profile, the banner there is a pixelated art of Tip the Scales.
Yeah, I saw that. You
That's
made that?
awesome.
I made that.
Oh, that's incredible. I love it. I love it. Okay.
It took some time, but I did
bet.
that.
It shows. It looks incredible.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of pixel art. My son is 9 years old and he never understands. Like I'll play these old games all the time. My favorite, I like these old like kind of point and click adventure games on the computer. Your old like King's Quest and Space Quest and stuff.
So good.
They're always my
all
favorite.
the LucasArts.
All the LucasArts games, yeah. And I'll like my son, hey, you got to play this. You got to check this out. It's the greatest game ever. He's like, this looks terrible. What is this? I'm like, no,
Yeah.
it's so good. But that's kind of what I grew up with, and I'll always go back to that.
Okay, it's just not your kid, but my wife said the same. She doesn't understand, and she's not 9 years old.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess.
When I'm playing RPGs on either on computer or on my cell, what's the fun on this? It's so boring, just staring at that. Oh, no, you got to grind and raise your character. Then no, it's boring.
Right? No. I know. I do that too in the old Final Fantasy games. Like I would always make it a point to hit level 99. Like, not like it was needed,
Right.
but just because like that's what we do. I mean, that's great.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that Murcs got for it. You have to love the grind, right?
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big time.
That's good for people like us that are sort of used to it and like doing it anyways. That's hilarious.
Good times. Good times. By the way, that reminds me, I have to get back to you. You had sent me over some soundtrack stuff. I think it was Mega Man orchestrated soundtrack, right?
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
was absolutely incredible. And I'd like to listen to more of that. It's great stuff. If anybody's interested in that style of music, just phenomenal to hear it
Yeah.
played out.
When I was younger, me and my cousin we had a rock band, and my cousin he went with the music career. He's a teacher. He plays at the state orchestra in my hometown, and he actually sends me that link that I post on Twitter because he's too an avid gamer and he loves those orchestrated game music. He does something as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
that's cool.
I never realized, like, growing up, like doing something video game related just never seemed like an option to me. Like if I could go back and do it all again, it would be so fun to do something video game related. It's too late.
Would be.
Too late now, but
You
hey,
grew
we
up
do
being
this
told-
podcast.
Yeah, right. You grow up being told that games are a waste of time or whatever. Now it's a massive industry and
Right?
it's so cool. And you can get what I love in the Hearthstone community is the fact that you see people that have come out of the players that actually work for the game. Like with Alec and Cora. Like it's just so cool to see
Jockey.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Like,
There's so
just
many.
watching all these people, graduate into actually working on the game, which is really cool. But yeah,
That what you said just remind me when I was playing for the Magic Nationals for the first time. I was a teenager, right? I didn't have money, so I had to convince my mother to buy a ticket for me to go to São Paulo. And she said, what do you want to go there? To the game, we spend money for that and won't bring anything to you. I said, no, but my friends are there. I want to go. I've never been there. And that I finished fifth that tournament, and it gave me a ticket to go to Cleveland for a Grand Prix. So after I got that first thing, I went to the phone, call my mother. Okay, I got a ticket to the US. We respect the game now. It's okay for you to pay for the ticket.
That's so cool.
Then she never complained about my game again.
That's great.
Yeah, I bet. That's why, like my son, he plays a lot of Fortnite, and he'll say, "Dad, there's a tournament on this day. Can I play?" And it's like, as long as it's not going to interfere with homework or school or anything like that, I'll let them do it, right? Because it's really cool to support them in that way. You know, as long as it's not taking away from real life important things. Then yeah, sure, of course you can play in the tournament. And games are actually a thing now. You can actually win money. You can make a name for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I would have never thought, growing up, that you could make a career out of it. I mean, I know it's almost like college sports or something, right? It's the people who actually make it are kind of few and far between. But then again, I mean, we see a lot of people, so it's
like. Did you remember watching the movie The Wizard?
Oh yes, I remember.
Yeah.
I always wanted one of those, like the Nintendo Power Glove, and
so cool.
Like that was like the dream. They were going to California or whatever to compete, and then they announced Mario 3, and it was like the craziest thing. Yeah.
One of the things I miss the most about the pandemics is going to the movies, because me and my wife went to the movies like every week, and I was when the Street Fighter movie came around. I think everybody around my age went there, and today we see was a really bad movie, except for Raul Julia, which was great, but. Back then, everybody was crazy. It was Street Fighter. They was Street Fighting on the big screen. Oh, it was awesome. And I think I never seen a movie theater so full as it was back then. Like every 10 to 18 kid was there. Everybody went to see Street Fighter on the big screen.
That's awesome.
Street Fighter, oh my goodness, that's great. I've seen it.
But for me, it was Tuesday. That was so great.
Oh man, it's been weird with the COVID stuff. I've only gone to the theater once since COVID hit, and it was very recently though, and so it's been, over a year and a half. But yeah, the theater was like almost empty. It's been crazy. And now everything, we just stream it at home.
Yeah, the last movie I watched was the last Star Wars. It was the last movie I seen on the big screen. So it's been a while.
Yeah, me too. We haven't gone like at all. I haven't been to a movie theater since like 2019, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to see the 2 new Marvel movies, but that's it. Like, and of course, we bought like multiple tickets so that we could have like a little extra space, all that kind of stuff. It's just like, it was necessary. Again, Texas.
Yeah, we were waiting for the second shot. I've got mine today. My wife got hers 2 weeks ago. Yes, I've been waiting for that shot. It got delayed by 2 months, but now I have it.
Hey, that's great though. I'm glad. Well, good.
Well, we should move into our next segment. Though it's been awesome getting to know you. We're going to talk more about your deck later, which is going to be super cool. But let's check in and see how everybody's been doing, what we've been up to this last week, whether it's in Hearthstone or in life. Nate, let's start with you. What's been going on, man?
Yeah, it's been a long week. My goodness. It was so funny. Like, Sheep was sharing stuff with me earlier. I'm like, nah, you shared that last week. It's like, no, I didn't actually. I was so surprised because it's been a long week. I don't know. Work has been extremely busy for me, and life has been interesting. But yeah, no, I mean, I can't really complain. I was like, so much happened over this past week. So like, okay, this is not even a good picture, but like the trees around my whole area are all changing colors right now. So yellow and red and orange and everywhere in between. And it's just amazing. It doesn't last very long, unfortunately, like maybe a month. And then
are they sick?
No, they're just beautiful. It's this time of year. And so it's nice. I like it. It's been very rainy, and this is my time of year. I really enjoy it. I've been doing not super great in the health department. I think I have another hernia, I think is what it is. I'm not sure. It's been quite a week in and out of doctors trying to figure out what is wrong, but like I've got this pain in kind of like my lower abdomen groin area, which is just unpleasant. And so kind of, gone to the doctor, went back again and got an ultrasound. I'm waiting for the results. Was like, getting an ultrasound of your groin is unpleasant. I will say that. It's not fun.
Agreed.
I try to make the most out of it. I'm sitting here trying to joke with them, right? I'm laying down here with the sheet, and they've got me, the gel, and they're doing the ultrasound, and I'm like, so, am I having a boy or a girl? And like, not even crack a smile. And what they said was, Mr. Wolf, we can't share the results with you. And I was like, I was joking. They're like, well, you're definitely not pregnant.
It's a hernia.
Did they ask you if you wanted the cold gel or the hot gel?
No, they didn't. But I was very appreciative because it was not cold. It was not cold.
Yeah. I got an option when it happened to me.
Oh wow! Yeah, small victories, right? So we'll see. I am, waiting for my results, and we'll see.
Yeah.
But whatever. My wife and I have been on a diet. I'm like down almost 8 pounds, which feels very nice.
Nice.
So that feels good. Over this past week, I think it was last Friday. I didn't really talk about it on the show, but my son and I played some Pokemon, and Pokemon Celebration came out. It's their 25 year anniversary type thing where there's some new cards, but they're re-releasing a bunch of old cards with alternate art and stuff. And this stuff is super hard to find. The card shops all sell out super quick. Like there's always the supply and demand on this stuff is all messed up. There's a card shop like a block away from my work, and my work schedule's super flexible. And so they were opening at noon. So I went down at 11. I was the second person in line, and I waited. And by the end of it, by when they opened at noon, there was like probably close to, 40 people or something. And so I was able to get in, and they like limited the number of stuff that you could get, but I was able to get the stuff, and then it sold out later that day. So I was excited, and I went home. My son and I like cracked the packs and stuff. Like what I really wanted, number one, Pokemon's really expensive. Not as expensive as Magic, but part of the reason I think it's so expensive is because the supply and demand is all messed up. Where Magic, like you can find stuff at Target or at, all the shops and everything, and the Pokemon stuff just sells out. I think what happens, people like will buy it in bulk and then resell it online for like twice the cost, which is just crazy. But anyways, I play fire decks. I love my Charizard, and so I got my Charizard stuff that I wanted, and so I got my cool like Charizard stuff. But the cool thing was
wow, that's huge. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, so they come with these big cards that are like just collector things, but then they have the little ones too.
Yeah, I always ask how to shuffle that?
Yeah, we stick these in.
Nate knows when he's gonna draw his Charizard.
Yeah,
right. So
Nate, I know that you just turned 40, but you don't need cards that big to read them, do you?
Yeah, no, I do. We play trombone. I have to go like this to focus it. But yeah, so I got home, and my son and I like cracked open the packs, and like, dude, I got some good stuff. I got at least 2 different cards that are worth over $100, which is crazy, and I probably should sell them, but I'm not going to. And so
how much is the box set that you got? Is it like that one big box?
Yeah, so that big box that's on the screen was like $50. It had, I don't know how many packs, 20 packs or something in it. these
It's
are
on
like
Amazon for over 100 now, by the way.
this stuff's really expensive. So, but like I
Sold
got
out like that.
these 2 cards that I got. Now the resale market is nutty because both of these are well over 100. One of them's over 200. But I got my Charizard. The camera won't focus on it. Maybe there we go. Come on, camera, you can do it.
Shiny.
I believe in you. Anyways,
You should learn Sheep's trick. He does a weird thing where he puts his hand over it.
Yeah, if you put your hand over too, then it'll force it to focus.
oh yeah,
If you put
Yeah.
yeah.
Or we see him do it with Lego.
yeah. Hey, there we go. The other one was this alternate art Mew, which is pretty rare, and it's come on, hand, do the thing, hand. Hey, there we go. Yeah,
Cool.
Cool.
So super fun. Anyways, like new shinies. So that was fun. And then we played some of the new Metroid game. It's really hard, but it's a lot of fun. I've been looking for something to watch. Like after finishing Midnight Mass, was like I didn't know what to watch next, and there was nothing. Like it's fall time. We're in October. Like this is when I usually will watch all like the scary movies, and there's just nothing good right now. I couldn't find anything new that I wanted to really watch. And then I realized that Seinfeld was on Netflix, and I have watched 3 seasons of Seinfeld in the last in the last like week and a half, which is I just
You did say you couldn't find anything new.
right.
I just finished Midnight Mass yesterday. I heard you. Yeah, I've heard you guys talking about it. So
La 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 la.
I won't spoil anything, but it was nice. It was nice. I was like here in my house. We we take turns which one choose the series.
Oh,
And
okay.
it was my time. I was okay. Let's watch Midnight Mass because I've heard it was nice. It was nice. It was nice. I recommend.
It's definitely I don't know. It's pretty intense, and the story is very rich. I don't know that it's for everybody, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. And then, of course, Mercenaries came out. This was the only time this is the only time I've ever done this, but I took the day off work in advance to play Mercenaries all day, and it was so much fun. I feel like the game mode is sort of in beta because they released it, but they didn't tell us like half the things that you can do, and so we're just exploring it and finding this stuff out for the first time. I feel like I have an advantage because I got the pre-order stuff, but the cool thing is they did this thing on Twitter where they showed the picture of Mercenaries, and it was like, hey, what is your name? Name this picture or whatever. What's the best name for this crew? And so I responded to it. I said, give them instruments and call them Elite Tauren Chieftain. And Hearthstone responded. We said, we love it. You're one of our winners. Check your DMs for a Murc gift. And I was like, oh, cool. I got a free pack. It turns out they gave me a code for the Lich King bundle, which is like the huge bundle, right? And so
Whoa.
I had already bought it, so I couldn't apply it to my account. Like I tried, and it was like, hey, do you want this for EU or Asia? And I was like, I don't want it for either. I ended up giving it to my son. I had my son play, go through the tutorial and see if he liked it, and he's like, oh, I love this. This is so fun. I was like, oh yeah, here you go. Here's 50 packs and a Diamond Lich King, and he was really excited, and so he's been playing it a ton, and so now we have something new to bond over. So yeah, this has been good. Anyways, yeah. What is this? Oh, the last thing that I did over this week was I updated the website, our website, borntobewildhs.com, to add little graphics for all of our past weekly challenge winners. So it'll show what the challenge was and who the winner was. I took the artwork from the Mercenaries equipment and like edited it all up to like swap it out for our stuff. But it was kind of fun. I went through the ones that we had with our like new format of show notes because they were easy. Like we keep names and pictures and all that stuff. I've got a handful of old ones to do, but like it's more rudimentary because the show notes I used to do them in like Notepad, and trying to go through them all, like it's really difficult to figure out. So it's going to take a little bit to go through the older ones, but we've got about 20 of them up on the website. So if you go to our website, it's just under there's a community tab. If you could look at Hall of Fame, it shows the past weekly challenge winners, and there's, I don't know, at least 20 of them there. So, and it's pretty close tie between, I think Mikkel and Ken Ray, but there's a couple other people. So, Schmoopy Daddy and Hastur and Ben from Work and Dr. Bomb, are up there as well. And
Ben Hearthstone, I think, won one.
Yeah, that's right.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of fun because life gets so busy that I think about this stuff like in the moment, and then it's gone. And so it's kind of fun to look back through this stuff and see, who did what and everything. And awesome. Now they're immortalized on the wall here. So anyways, yes, Schmoopy, you wrote the best fanfic.
Can confirm.
Anyways.
That was amazing.
Oh, I know. We even read it to some smooth jazz for you. So anyways, that was my week. Sorry for talking so long. I feel I haven't talked to you guys in a long time. So anyways, yeah, Sheep, what about you? What have you been up to?
Yeah, it has in fact been a long week. Last week, and by that I mean on Monday, I hit standard in both
Legend?
Standard, yes. I hit Legend. I hit Standard in both Legend and Wild. I hit Legend in both Standard and Wild.
Hey, I saw here that your final boss was Magic Pants.
Yeah, Super Pants.
Super Pants, which is so funny because we were writing back and forth earlier today about like real life work stuff, and I used the name like, was it Magic Pants or whatever for my
little sign off thing. Yeah.
Yes. How funny. Very apropos.
Yeah, Super Pants did not stand a chance to my homebrew Death Rattle Demon Hunter.
Nice.
We'll talk a little bit more about that whenever we get to the Dexplanations section down there, what we're playing. But because that's the newer deck that I'm playing. It's homebrew. It's Death Rattle Demon Hunter. It's standard. It's fun. Working on those Demon Hunter wins.
Yep.
Schmoopy's still ahead of me, but I've still got a leg up on Nate. So we're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, it's been slow for me. I think I'm almost to 600, but it's been slow. The meta doesn't feel very welcoming to it right now for me, anyways. I don't know, but Murcs happened, and that's kind of like all my attention was like wildly diverted.
Yeah, there's a reason why I hit Legend in both Standard and Wild on Monday.
Good timing.
Yeah, the Wild Legend was actually much later. So I was, feeling kind of tired because, the foot stuff, just have been going to sleep a lot earlier. So I fell asleep by like 8:39, woke up like wicked late or like wicked early in the middle of the night. And it's like, I don't feel particularly tired. I'm just going to like jam some Pirate Warrior, and proceeded to climb directly with, I think, only one loss from like Diamond 4 into Legend.
Wow.
Make it sound so easy.
I kept on facing off against Pirate Warriors, and they kept on beating me whenever I was playing as aggro druid. And I was like, you know what? So many people are playing it. Like, I'm going to see why. And I saw why. So that one, I honestly just used the old list that I had, just already in my collection because it was there. And, like I said, I woke up in the middle of the night and just pushed the button and started slinging cards. So
I love the decks that are just like, Cardstone, play on curve and not have to think too hard about it. It's like one of my preferred play styles. Like, I like to multitask, and so I don't know, Pirate Warrior. Oh my goodness, I love it.
Yeah, it was the questline version, so it wasn't like the old school, but it was an older questline build for sure.
Gotcha.
What I have been playing pretty much since then is the aforementioned Mercenaries. So I was very glad that I hit Legend then, because I've mostly been playing Murcs since then. I know this isn't a Mercenaries podcast, so I won't
Yet.
wax poetic about it right now, but whenever we were doing sound check and stuff like that, I was finishing up like my last bounty, and actually ended up getting the tiers or the 7th task equipment for Thrall. So it's just like, all right, that's a good one.
Doomhammer.
Yeah, buddy.
Cool.
I've been really enjoying it. I don't know. I don't want to carry on. I'm sorry. I will just talk about Mercenaries all night.
Yeah, born to be Mercs. Born to be Mercs.
we can touch on it in the news a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so what have you been watching here?
Yeah, so after powering through Midnight Mass in a single day, kind of like you, I was like, what is it that I can kind of watch? And Squid Game kept on popping up in like, different social feeds, and people kept on mentioning it, and I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And I didn't watch it all in one day like I did with Midnight Mass, but I watched the whole series over the course of the week pretty quickly. So
I've had at least
Squid
5
Game.
people now tell me to watch it, so I think I will have to do that.
It is very good. You will like it for sure. Knowing you. You will like
I'm
it.
sure I probably will. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one too.
So
It looks
good.
pretty intense.
It was the series before Midnight Mass was Squid Game.
Oh, okay.
Is that the one that you got to choose, or is that one that your wife chose?
No, it was hers.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
It was good because it would be mine, so I got a
You got a freebie?
We take those. Let's go.
That's great.
Yeah, whenever my wife and I have been watching stuff, whenever it's kind of her series choice time, we've been watching Kim's Convenience, which I've already seen all of. It's really
so
good.
funny.
It's so funny. And I'm always happy to watch it with her. Like it's definitely a good, laugh. I would say turn your brain off, but it's not turn your brain off, right? But it's more light, it's more fun. So been watching a little bit of Kim's Convenience too, but that's more hanging out with the wife and playing Mercenaries
Yeah.
than kind of like actively engaged watching, because I've seen it before. It's really good. Outside of all of that, I kind of mentioned earlier the Foot aspect. The Foot saga continues. I mentioned last time that I would not have seen the podiatrist before we talked again. I see them on Monday, so very soon I'll hopefully be able to be like, I saw the podiatrist and now everything's fine. But I don't think it'll be quite that quick. But like, hopefully, right?
Yeah, well, we're pulling for you for sure. I feel that. It's like, oh, cool. I'm one step further towards hopefully a solution. Maybe.
Exactly.
But hey,
Yeah.
step in the right direction at least.
Oh, steps hurt right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say no pun intended, but I didn't want to go there.
What a bad
She did.
example. Oh my god. Ouch.
Baby steps.
So I know I'm from Texas, but these bone spurs aren't the spurs that y'all would expect me to wear, right?
Ba-dum.
Wah, wah.
Oh man.
So that's been the week here in the city of Electric Sheep. How has your week been, Eltinho?
Well, yes. Well, as you said, it was Mercs week, so I have been doing mainly Mercs and playing just for the quests. I I have managed to hit legend early this month, both in wild and standard.
Nice.
I last month, because of the Demon Seed Winter, okay, that's how we call it. I took a break from wild, not because I was having trouble playing against. The giant version was okay for me. The fatigue version was not, because the files. I hate the card, but the problem I was facing, according to my data tracker, I played 47% against Warlock, and I was bored to just play against Warlocks.
Wow.
Okay, like 50% of my opponents on High Legend being Warlocks was not fun, so I took a break from Wilds and went back to Standard, and got back my 11 stars, which I haven't had in like a few months. So my climb was kind of easier this month. So I spent most of the month playing Standard and Wild until we got to Murcs. Every month I end about with 200 to 300 games in Wild. I'm just in 7-7 now. I don't think I will make more than 120 this month, because the days are just packed, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And there's one thing that's bothering me, because everybody and their little brother is complaining about Odd Hunter, which is a great matchup for my deck. This month I'm currently 5-0, and in total I think I'm 16-5 against it, and I just don't play against everybody. I just play against. I have played more druids and mages than hunters this season. I have just played 7-7 matchups and just 5 hunters. But
wow.
30. But let me check here. But 38% of warlocks. Okay, I'm getting pummeled here by those defiles. Yeah, and I see no hunters. Where are the hunters? Please show up. I need to get some wins. Okay? I need to get back to top to 200. I'm currently at 230, I think, at the last time I checked.
That's kind of where I'm sitting at right now as well. Right around there.
Yesterday, I tried to play some games, but the server was just. I think the bugs were dropping the servers. I just lost 2 games that I didn't play. The game started, didn't connect. The client just closed. When I came back, it was over. So those are the worst kind of games to lose. Yeah. And so I'm around that area, and I just don't find those hunters. I think it's a myth. I think everybody is lying. There's a great conspiracy.
Okay. Do you remember how people would always say, like, oh, it's the matchmaking, they're doing it on purpose, and blah blah blah, the conspiracy theories or whatever, right?
They're doing on purpose. They are hiding hunters. Give me all the files.
Hear me out though. Like, I'm sort of kidding here, but with mercenaries, they have said that they do matchmaking based on your collection and composition.
Yeah,
so they have the ability to actually do it.
Yeah, they've been tracking, but I'm actually trying. When we get to that part, I'm trying different stuff, because I'm aiming for warlocks right now, because that's all I play him against. Yeah. Other than that, as we were talking about series, I just watched Midnight Mass. We watched Squid Game, which by some reason is called Round 6 in Brazil. I don't know why. And this weekend, I finally watched the new Suicide Squad.
How did you like it?
I like it. My wife hated. What the? Okay, sorry for language. This movie.
It was so goofy though. Like,
I've laughed. And she said, "I'll pick the next." Okay, I'll pick the next. Yeah, and since we're all here, old people with health issues, I'm also doing with an hernia, but on my back. It's a family thing, because my grandfather, my uncle, my mother, everybody here has a faulty back spine.
Oh no.
So, no, but it's okay. It's something I've been dealing with for a while, and just going to the do some exercise. Okay, I think it's because mainly because I've been out of doing regular exercise for
Yeah.
so long, right?
Mhm.
I finally got the doing the gym in a good rhythm, and then I got COVID. So the last week before I went to the hospital, I went to the gym like 5 times a week, which is a record for me. And then I had to, no gym for you now.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay, and so yeah, we're going to do the ER section later, or can we? That's a new section for the show. News.
Oh dear.
Nate's anatomy, or how do we call that?
That's funny. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
we'll cover everyone's debilitating health conditions. Oh,
and
jeez.
that's been my week. Luckily the things that my work have been easy. They are finally returning to they are ending the home office, but since they doing like in percentages, since I've been on the ill side, I'm on the last percentage to go back to presential office, and so I think I'm stuck with home office for the next months. Nice.
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 Very, very good. Well, hey, Hydra, what have you been up to?
Yeah, so in the world of Hearthstone, last week I mentioned I was close on all 3 servers to finally getting the reward track over with. They're all sort of tied up, and I did it both on NA and I wrote in the show notes EU, but that's not true. It was Asia. NA and
Yeah.
Asia. So on NA, I decided to grab the Rexar one just because, all of those hunters you're not seeing Eltinho. I already really like the fire hunter that they gave like on the last rewards track for level 50
Yeah.
or whatever it was. But I'm picking and choosing what left to pick, and this one's still pretty cool. So
I like it.
I grabbed Hunter, and then over on NA or Asia, I get confused between them now because they're all so close. I ended up getting the Garrosh of Might, and that one's pretty cool because I do play a lot of the Quest Pirate Warrior over there, so I thought I would grab that.
Nice.
And EU's just right behind. If I actually do my weeklies, like tomorrow probably, I'll ding that one too.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
So all 3 will be at level 100, and it's so funny once you pass level 100 how fast it goes. Because like if I was playing on one account, I'm sure I would be well past 100 on the one account, but I'm at 100 on all 3. But yeah, as soon as I hit 100, then I played a couple more games, and I went 101, 102, 103, 104. Like
It goes
like-
fast, yeah.
after because I completed a weekly and a daily in one game, and then it was like 4 levels, and I'm like, oh, so that's so cool. So get to finally start packing away that gold. I have about like 5,000 gold saved away on each account right now, something like that,
Nice.
for the next expansion, and no doubt going to spend like 2,000 of that on the mini set whenever we get an announcement for that. But then
You're
put
gonna
the rest away.
you're gonna spend it on mercenary packs? What?
No, but I did have to spend gold on upgrading couple of buildings. I don't know why
Yeah.
they make you do that. That's a bummer.
I can only imagine trying to have multiple servers of mercenary.
I'm not doing that. I am not.
So much of a grind.
The only problem is I will forever have this stupid quest sitting there if I don't at least get rid of those 3 legendary quests for mercenaries right now. So I'm going to have to play through the whole tutorial, which is longer than it appears at first. At least that on all 3. And then of course open the packs, and then it's cool, and then maybe it'll suck me in, but no, I'm not doing it. One server only. for mercenaries, because that would be it's hard enough now because all the daily quests that I try to keep up with, and then they've thrown mercenaries in there, and it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff to do. So I'm not doing it.
Do you have a reminder me a year from now to to that? I'm not playing Murcs on my other accounts. Okay. How you doing, Hydra? Okay, I've just got 30 on my servers.
I know. It's funny because I actually have a tweet that says I just opened. So this is from Mean Streets. I tweeted out that I just opened a golden patches. It would be really funny if I had all golden pirate warrior. Haha, I would never do that, is what I wrote. guess what happened, right? All golden pirate warrior, all golden, like, I have like a dozen decks that are all gold easily. In 2017 or whenever, 2016, whenever Mean Streets came out, I'm making fun of gold decks. Look at me now.
I know. Same. I'm in the same boat.
So yeah, we'll see. But I'm gonna try not to, because that's way too many things to do. And I've been playing a lot of Diablo 2 Resurrected. I've been having a blast. I stopped at level 90, like doing like grinding for levels. Now I'm grinding for gear. Just trying to get all the stuff that I need for my character, and I'm having a really good time doing that. I've gotten it's crazy because things are actually on the internet now. You can see drop rates of where things. There was a shield that I wanted, and I saw like, do this run, play through these 4 areas. It is going to drop. Just keep playing through them till it does. And sure enough, it did. So,
well.
Yeah, the info is out there right now. When the game first came out like 20 years ago, it was so confusing. You didn't know where stuff was coming from. Drop rates in Diablo are so low that I've used a drop rate calculator to see where you can find stuff, and it's like 1 in 772 chance to get it from this boss, and you're like, oh. I'm not gonna do that.
I remember trying to get a Stone of Jordan on the old server. God, that was a grind, and
it's a grind.
I still didn't get my second.
No, it's way too hard. But yeah, you can do it. The thing is, you have to play by yourself. Like if you're doing bail runs with the public, everyone's just mad clicking to see who can pick up the drops first, or there's probably some sort of like macro that's auto picking up for them. I don't know, but it's too hard. So you have to like run with a friend and share the gear, or just run by yourself. Do magic fine.
Mind if I roll need?
Yeah, right? You can't roll in that game. It's like first come, first serve. But yeah, so also in Hearthstone, I ran into a weird little glitch that made me think I was going crazy. So I was a lot of the times because completing quests when you have multiple accounts can be tedious. It'll be like, play this many Murlocs or play this many spells or whatever. I'll just make a deck that is called delete, right? And I will play it until I complete the quest, and I'll play it in casual. And when I'm done, I delete the deck. And this time around, I did it. It was play 3 Warlock games and then play this many cards, draw this many cards, something like that. Actually, the screenshot's up there. Yeah, play 30 cards, play 20 Battlecry cards, and play 3 games with Rogue, Warlock, or Warrior. So I did the 3 Warlock games. I drew a bunch of cards. I played a bunch of cards, and nothing happened. I didn't get any quest rewards or anything. And so I started asking in the Discord, and it was sort of like up in the air because Arimorn, it was happening to Arimorn as well. And some people were saying, "Oh, it's always been that way. You can't do it in casual." I'm like, "No, I know." And so I'm thinking, like, is this some weird Mandela effect? Like, we think you used to be able to, but you never were.
It's because the achievements couldn't be done in casual, so people were messing that. But yeah, I have to do the normal quest on Legend because it wasn't firing on casual.
Right. Yeah. Happy Nozdormu Day, by the way.
Yeah, I did my EU and Asia Nozdormus yesterday. I always get those out of the way the day before, quote unquotes, over here.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, so that was a little annoying because I ended up burning quests because of it. Because when I get my 3 weeklies, I sort of save it so I have 3 dailies when the 3 weeklies drop, and then you can kind of knock them all off at the same time. It's like a strategic way I do it to save as much time as possible.
Yeah.
And then so I try to go do these in casual, and I wasn't completing them, and I was frustrated, and I had to go to bed because it was late, and ended up burning a quest on each server, which I know is not the end of the world, but
It's not
made
what we
me
want,
feel
though. Yeah.
it's not what we want.
Yeah, it seems you still can do casual duels, I think, but the casual ladder it's bugged. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't confirm because I haven't tried duels, but I think someone said something about like I had the quest to play three quest lines, and I didn't want to play in deck with quest lines. I tried to casual, then okay, I just wait for the next day to change it.
Yeah. I don't know. It was sad though, but anyway, I figured it out. I did it in the next day. I went and did everything just on ladder, so no big deal.
Did you delete your deck?
Did I delete my deck?
Yeah, I hope you remember.
Sometimes I forget and I delete them. But yeah, no. Sometimes they're still there, and I'm like, "What is this deck?" It'll be called Quest, and I'm like, "Oh, it's Quest Mage." Cue it up, and no, it was to complete my quest.
Oh dear.
Oops.
Oops.
This is a teaching moment.
Yeah, the opponent's like,
Wow.
Oh, it works.
Or like playing standard in wild because you misclicked on your deck and then you win.
"Oh,
That's the best part.
yeah." Oh, I know, right? It's funny when you actually queue your standard deck into wild and you end up winning.
Yeah, I did that once with Control Warrior, and then I played against some aggro deck that, okay, I had like infinite armor gain, and I won. And well played.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I've done that a fair amment. Accidentally queuing standard into
I
wild.
did that last week.
Oops.
Oops. Yeah, okay. Those are the times I haven't played Murlocs in wild.
I guess, yeah. Add that to the list.
But I delete that from the tracker.
You don't have to mess up your
Alright.
stats. That's fun.
Yeah, really, right?
No, I ain't
That one
gonna mess
doesn't
with my
count.
stats.
Doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
But that's mostly been my week up until Murcs came out, and then Murcs dropped, and I've basically just been playing that since, trying to get a grasp on what the heck is going on. I'm
Right.
like, yeah,
We're like it's like Murcs Anonymous here. I only play Murcs for now.
There are dozens of us.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
like,
think so.
it's a new mode, and it's super fun just to jump into something fresh, right? So I jammed it Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I'm having a lot of fun. So that's basically been what I've been up to this week. Sheep, how about you tell us what's going on in the listener series?
I would be honored. So, this week in the listeners series starts the finals.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, big time, exciting.
Both semifinal matches went to 5 games, but at the end of it, Cyber Gamer triumphed over Ginger Ninja, and Jordan MG triumphed over Schmoopy Daddy. So we have Cyber Gamer versus Jordan MG in the finals to determine who will win this season of the listener series.
Right
So-
on.
Yes, excitement abounds. We are not, in fact, casting a match after this because the finals are a little more involved than usual.
Yeah, definitely a little bit different this time around.
Yeah. So there are two steps to this one. The first step, which finished up last night, is banning cards phase. So the final step is, or the finals challenge is called build a challenge, right?
Battle of the bands.
Yes, that's right. I couldn't remember which we settled on. I think you're right. It was Battle of the Bands.
Oh
So,
dear. Yeah.
First step, we each of the challengers will ban cards from each of the opponents. So 10 per class and 15 neutral cards in total. If there is a dual or tri-class card, or something that fits into multiple ones, they need to use a ban for each class that it's in. The kind of rule of thumb there is that if, whenever you're looking in the collection manager, it's under, for example, Mage for Kazakus. Oh, well, I banned Kazakus and Mage. Well, it's still available in the other ones because you only banned it in Mage. That doesn't apply to all of them. But Kazakus Golem Shaper, right? That one, if you ban it in neutral, then it bans it for all of them. Not really applicable to a whole lot because those are different cards. But I digress. If it's in the class area, then it counted for the class, and you would need to ban it per class. Is the big takeaway there. So the bans were due last night at 11:59 p.m. Pacific, and the decks are due at our normal time, Tuesday at 11:59 Pacific, but this coming Tuesday. So that's why we are not casting a match this go around, because we had a bit more of an involved process. So the bans, those were the ones that were just due, and we'll have our decks due here shortly. Hoping to cast that match if we're able to next go around, but we'll see what our challengers' availability is for that.
Right. I'm really excited about this challenge. This challenge was brought to us by Jordan, who ended up having to, I guess, play under his own challenge. But I think this is like the true test of champions, right? Like you have to figure, like, you ban your opponent's cards and they ban yours, and then you got to build decks based on the bans. Like, that's just crazy. I love it. It's just so there will be some mad science conducted this week. So I really hope that we're able to stream the finals. It'd be a kind of a shame if we can't, but I guess we shall see the availability of our contestants here. But good times. Absolutely. For sure.
Yeah, and just to be clear, no shenaniganry was afoot there. Jordan submitted that challenge whenever we were looking at finals challenges for last season, and we threw that in as the finals challenge at the very beginning of the playoffs. So there was no shenaniganry afoot there. He didn't have an unfair advantage in knowing what was coming up any more than anybody else did.
He's probably pretty frustrated to have to do it.
Like, oh no, I got stuck with it.
It's hard. This is a very difficult challenge too. So yeah. I'm sitting here looking at the bands right now. They definitely had their work cut out for them. So. Very
much so. And if you too would like to see what the bands are, check out our Born to Be Wild Listeners Series Season 3 spreadsheet at esheep.city/B2BW series. The other option is a Google form link that is stupid long.
It's on our website. If you go to the Born to Be Wild website,
also on the website.
Yeah, on our Listener Series page, there's a direct link to it as well. Oh, even I forgot. Better. I added our Hall of Fame, our season 1 and season 2 winners to the website, and also added links to all of the highlighted matches to our website too. So if you are anyone interested watching any of the kind of our highlight reel, it's all up there on the website.
Yeah. So if you're interested in watching those highlighted matches or seeing what will be banned in the forthcoming finals showdown, check out the website, borntobewildhs.com/listener-series. And That's a great resource for everything listeners series related. So good luck to both players in your deck creation step now that you know kind of what your challenge is.
Super cool. Yes.
So that is it for us here in the listener series. What's been going on in the wider world of Hearthstone this week, Hydra?
Well, if
I
you've
wonder.
been living under a rock or haven't noticed, we've already been talking about it in the show a whole bunch. Nax out. I mean,
Murcs out.
Murcs out. And yeah, it's finally here. It came out on Tuesday. I know both you, Nate, and Sheep took some time off to play it that first day. I was extremely jealous. I couldn't wait for my day to end and just get home and hop on and play it. And I'm having a blast. Let's start with Eltinho. Like, have you've been playing this? You've mentioned, right? So, like, have you been having a fun experience? Have you been enjoying this?
Yeah, I like it because unlike the other solo content, I think it appeals the part of the grind your characters in adding the powers and figuring. And that's this thing that Nate said. We are just figuring out because there was too much information. I've stayed away from most of the videos except for the first thing that they released.
So you
And
really
after
went
that,
in blind.
I went running blind, and I was just, and I didn't buy anything except for the cheapest one, which was really cheap for the 10 packs and a legendary. And I just went with gold. And even then I didn't spend too much. I think I spent like 2,000 gold, and that's it. And so I was figuring out what was nice or what wasn't, and coincidentally I ended up building a Murloc comp.
Hey, big surprise.
I have a red
Coincidentally.
yeah, just look, okay.
That's so funny.
And I have all the three Murlocs now at level 30, and I just figured out what to fill the rest of the pack. But I haven't tried PvP. I think it's not my jam because you need to have. I think you have to have a full team, and I'm not in the time to grind for that. So I haven't even finished all the quests, the Valir quests yet. I played just for the bulk of the weekdays. So, and I still have to make my daily quest, okay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I even have the one that to kill a lot of minions. So I said, okay, I'll just play one BG game just to end that one single blow, and I finally managed to get the mustard pretzel achievement after all this time for Yogg-Saron build, menagerie build. I was not looking for that, but okay, I take what I get, okay.
Yeah, that's a hard one to do. Congrats, that's great.
Yeah, but it was the little one, not the big one.
The spicy pretzel mustard one is. I don't know that
because I drew the second round.
Gotten it.
I won every round except for the second, which I drew, and I got the little achievement.
Oh well,
but
so close.
But Murcs, it's fine. I find the dungeon thing and grind your characters. I like that. And so, and what I'm doing, I'm trying to like with the original heroes in Hearthstone. I don't like to just pump one and leave the others behind. So I'm building average comps of heroes and grinding all at once. So I just got 30 with the 6. Now I'm doing another composition to get to 30, and that's how I'm doing.
Yeah, that's kind of how I've been doing it as well.
Yeah, for the heroes, I before I was playing non-stopping Paladin, I have all the heroes between 1k and 2k. After I got one, I just swapped. It was growing then altogether, but now I have much more Paladin wins.
Yeah, how many paladin wins do you have?
Now I am with 4k and 200.
Wow.
Before that, Rogue was my favorite class before. Because I only play WoW. I just play with Rogue, and my first deck was Miracle Rogue, and
Nice.
I have like 2k wins with Rogue and 1k everything else. Now Rogue is the second with 2.5,
Mhm.
but I just got
4.2. Jeez.
4. Yeah, just playing Murlocs.
That's incredible. I love it.
That's insane. That's a lot of Murlocs.
Yeah, and there's a fun thing because after the Darkmoon Fairy, I've added Circus Amalgam to the deck because I need a taunt, and then I complete all the other achievements of playing pirates and Bortusks and elementals and beasts just by playing Circus Amalgams, and I got all those play 3,000 creature types just by playing Circus Amalgam.
Oh my goodness.
Smart.
That is smart. Well, Sheep, how's your Murcs experience been going?
Oh, it's been a blast. I started off with like a really fun demon comp and have been having a blast with that one. I've got, I think, like 11, almost 12 Murcs up to level 30. They're not all, maxed out and stuff like that. I have a couple of them maxed out with, not only all of the equipment and abilities, but all of them upgraded all the way. I've got a couple of those, but most of them not so much maxed out. Like I said, finally, right before the show started, got Doomhammer for my Thrall. So really excited about that.
I'm so jealous. That's great.
Yeah, so still definitely on the grind, still having a lot of fun. I've done like a couple of games of PvP and it's been fun, but right now what's been really exciting for me is grinding PvE, getting all of the different equipment and getting my dudes like leveled up. Like I said, I've got 11 of them to level 30 already. I think I'm going to try and eventually get all of them to 30. I don't know if I'm going to get like all of them with the, fully upgraded equipment, but
How many are there
probably
total?
52, if I recall
52.
correctly. So about a fifth of the way there in less than a week. All right.
Hey,
Now,
if it's
granted,
keeping
I
you
don't think I'm
busy.
going to be going as hard, the every single week as I did this week. But I might. Who knows?
Hey, it's still
It's
shiny
fun.
and new, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And I've been doing an orc build a bit today. Did like a nature build, the demon build, I think. Gosh, I'm not sure if the orc build or the demon build is my favorite so far, but just playing around with the different possibilities and the different interactions and stuff like that is really cool.
Yeah.
Gosh, I can't remember which one it is. I think is it Sour? No, it's not Sourfang. Rokara has the ability to like deal damage. I think it's like 12 damage and then repeat for as many orcs as you have. Well, Blade Master Samuro has the mirror image thing, which since he's an orc, the extra one is an orc. Sourfang, which I alluded to earlier, his third ability is to make another orc, and so you can spiral pretty quick with the orcs with that one if you're kind of focusing on it, particularly in one turn. You can just make two in a turn. One of them deals damage to the opponent. The other one like makes a beefy orc, and then you just like boom, smack in the face for a ton. Well, I mean, not the face. It's one of the Murcs, but all of the Murcs have faces.
The Merc's face.
Exactly. So that's been a lot of fun. I've been playing with a few different things, and we'll, probably continue playing with different things as I continue upgrading them. So that's been my experience around the mercenary campfire, I guess.
I guess it is around the campfire. Nate, how about you? How's it been going?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I think a couple brief thoughts on Mercenaries. I think one, the game to me right now, I love it. I absolutely love it. But I feel like it is sort of in beta somewhat, just because there's a lot that feels like it's missing. Like we saw them push back the release date once, and I feel like some of it is a little like, okay, like I went through the tutorial, but there was a lot that just did not feel fully fleshed out in terms of, I still don't know what half the things do. They don't explain, hey, what is a death blow? Hey, how does the combo work? Hey,
I still don't know how combo works. Not like I don't get it.
It's they have not they haven't explained a lot of that stuff. I think then the real trick is trying to figure out how the synergies work. Like if you want to make good builds, it's not necessarily like just pick 3 strong ones. So it's like, or 6 strong ones. It's pick ones that work well together, whose abilities like buff each other. And so people figured out very early on, right? Oh, well, Zyrella makes their attack 0 and Samuro will attack into it and buff and then attack again and get more buff. And so, and then but like there's so many. So trying to figure out, okay, what are the other ones? What other kind of compositions can you make here? And so we're slowly starting to come across those. And I spent a lot of time playing this week with NHL and Blue Train and Gasu and some other people, with Sheep and Floop and Dr. Fish and friends, right? And so it's been fun. I mean, I really enjoy it. I kind of like the grindy aspect of it. It reminds me of those old days, like leveling to 99 in Final Fantasy. And I enjoy multitasking, and so like I'm here in like my command station with my multiple monitors, and I love being able to like watch a TV show on one and play the game on the other, because especially because you're playing against the computer for most of it, like nothing is timed, and I can look away and not get punished. I don't have to think too hard, and I've just really been enjoying it. The artwork is absolutely incredible. I find the boards to be a little bit lackluster, but the artwork for the characters is super cool. The card design is amazing. Like I wish that we would get those for Hearthstone. Like they're just gorgeous. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. So I'm still kind of exploring, learning how everything works and trying to figure out, what is the best way to level them up? Oh, what is this? Like they didn't explain this like mysterious traveler that you can run into to get someone to visit your campfire to get a quest to upgrade your character, and
or a potato.
Or the dynamite potato. And then they didn't explain right early on that you could get equipment and how to level that up and all this. So there's still a lot. I've been playing.
There's a point you just made. It looks like beta, and BG was with the beta tag for like
a year,
2 years?
Or 2 years, yeah.
Yeah. And why doesn't the Murcs have the beta tag? Because it's just what you said. It seems like it's still on beta right now.
It's definitely fun, but I feel like it's it feels early, and but yeah, I think there's still a lot to kind of figure out. I laugh because people were doing like tournaments on day one. Like nobody knows how any of this works on day one. I mean, go for it, have a tournament, but like I don't know.
Yeah, let's do there's a rock paper scissors tournament.
Exactly.
Why can't we have a first day Murcs tournament?
That's pretty funny. So yeah, we'll see. I'm really enjoying it though. In fact, it's to the point where like I haven't wanted to play the other modes, and I almost lost some daily quests. I was like, oh, I got to do those. Oh, I better do the Tavern Brawl also because I got sidelined playing Mercenaries. I feel like the other piece is you can clearly tell that they got it set up for future releases because, like you were saying, Eltinho, like there's only 3 Murlocs right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, hey, I want to make a whole comp of Murlocs. Well, you can't right now. Or dragons, like, okay.
Dame Hazelbark.
No.
You can't do that.
Can you imagine three Hazelbark skins?
Please,
Oh, that'd be great.
shut up and take my money.
Yeah.
You'll never sleep again. That face,
I love it.
those eyes appear into your soul.
Oh, it's so good. I saw artwork already for Kazakis and Medivh and Valera. So like we know there's more coming. And it's just a matter of time. I'd love to make a dragon comp, but there's only like I've got Alexstrasza and Brightwing and Voon, and that's it. And Voon's not even a dragon; he just has dragon synergy. But I've been having fun. I made a fire comp. I'll talk about in a minute. And I tried demons. It's okay. There's a couple other things, but it's been fun. It's been really fun, and I think I don't know. I'm just gonna keep playing it and kind of experimenting, and I don't know. Maybe I'll play some after the show since we don't have a match to cast tonight. And I've been stuck. I've been stuck at work until after 5 o'clock today, and I rushed home to try to get to the show. So I need to scratch that itch.
Yeah.
The mode has just been released, and I'm already thinking when will they release the League of Explorers and the Evil team.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I can't wait for Bran
And Finley.
Reno.
Bran will summon a dinosaur.
Boom. How do we work bombs with Dr. Boom? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, and Rafam. What'll Rafam's like abilities and equipment be? That'll be so cool.
Yeah.
The old gods too. Just
Oh, they've got endless
look-
content. They can reprint everything into this mode, right?
and Warcraft has a huge lore to drop on.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many. There's definitely a lot of potential. The hard thing I think for me is that you can't like in Hearthstone, you play Hearthstone, you earn gold, right? And then you use gold to get packs, but like you don't like the XP that you earn for playing Mercenaries is so low. And like I want packs, but I'm like at my spending limit, and so like every time I get 100 gold, like I'll go buy a Murcs pack. But
Gotta get your pick.
I do. I had to get my fix, but it feels like it's kind of few and far between. And also, getting diamond characters, like no clue. I must have opened 200 packs, and I got 0, aside from the pre-orders. Like it must be so difficult.
I so want a diamond Jiraxis, like so bad. But yeah, I haven't opened any additional diamond portraits either.
Diamond Jiraxis dances.
He does.
Oh, gosh. Oh no, it's gonna be so hard to get.
I know. Yeah. You can get gold in Murcs. How do you get gold in Murcs? Yeah, you can spend gold in Murcs, but I don't know how to earn it.
Yeah, it's just with the experience.
Like with the
It's
reward
slower
tracks.
going.
But so
You
I
get
feel
experience for PvP than you do PvE.
Of course. Yeah.
So whenever you're on the PvP grind, you'll end up accumulating it much quicker. But yeah, whenever you're grinding levels out and equipment out on PvE, it's pretty slow going for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like you spend a lot of time in Murcs jumping around between the different places. Like you're looking at your collection, you're trying to see what you're gonna upgrade, and then when you go and do the PvE, you're on the map, you're trying to pick and choose which direction you're gonna take. Then you play the game, and the game only takes 2 minutes. Right? And you get 15 XP for the game you just played. And then you like move
You're
to the
getting
next
15 XP?
I don't know. What is that, a lot?
No,
I've been getting like 7.
I've been getting like 7. Yeah, like 7 or 8 is pretty normal. If it's a really long
Yeah.
match, you'll get 15, but mostly it's low.
Yeah, so like I feel like you spend a lot of time on different screens than just in the actual combat, which can be a bit of a problem. So I guess if you want to make that XP, just keep hitting play instead of poking around. I don't know.
Yeah,
But-
I've been grinding the second heroic one in the Barrens because it's really short and it has a mysterious. I always want to say mysterious challenger, mysterious stranger possibility because it has the mystery coin on
Right.
there. So I've been doing that one a lot, and because of
Okay.
that, I've basically just been hitting play a lot.
Yeah.
So I may have been getting a little bit more XP because I haven't been, poking around in all these other places because I'm just hitting play a lot.
Yeah, that's what I've heard that from other
collecting
people
those 7 XP.
though. I've heard it from a lot of different people that if you're wanting to like level up your characters, the
Yeah.
most efficient way to do it is Baron's heroic level 2 because like Sheep, like you were saying, the possibility for you to get the traveler to get you a mercenary specific quest or whatever you want to call it to unlock an item or whatever it's called.
Also, if you want to guarantee that you only get the ones you're looking for, don't bring a 6 mercenary party. Only bring a 3 mercenary party. Because then
snap, I
only
didn't even
those
think
3
about
will
that.
be offered. Yeah.
Okay, wait. Say that again.
Yeah. So whenever you encounter the mysterious stranger, right?
Yeah.
It chooses between the 6 that you have in your party.
Okay.
So don't bring a party of 6. Bring a party of 3. And then it'll only show you the 3 that you brought, so you can guarantee that you're picking whichever one you're
one that you
looking
want.
for. Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
I don't know if that's like canon, but like that's what I've been doing. It's been working for me. So.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. And
Yeah,
Alright.
makes sense.
it definitely rewards. It's like a gotcha game, right? Where it really rewards paying to play. Like if you're unlocking only through stuff that you earn, I suppose it would take quite a bit longer because you got to open a bunch of packs to unlock the characters. That being said, with the bundle that we won for my son, like he got almost every character. I think missing 5 or something. Like
Wow.
from the bundle. Granted,
And only one of them too.
yeah,
that's
right.
nuts. Because I got the 3 pre-orders, and I got everything except for 3 mercenaries, and they're all legendary. So I don't have Malfurion, Illidan, or Jaina.
Okay.
But I did get enough mercenary coins to craft Malfurion if I want to, but I haven't decided whether I want to. Or I think I want to hold off
Yeah.
because
I recommend that too. Yeah.
so because I'm gonna open it, right?
Yeah.
And then
and you're gonna want to upgrade it, and if you spend all your coins to craft it, then you're gonna have none to upgrade. So
so I feel like I just gotta wait till I open the next, because there's only 3 legendaries left. It's gonna take a little bit of time, and I don't want to be dumping money into it. But every time I get a pack, you're gonna get a chance to open this. Did you guys notice that in the PvP section that there's literally the rewards are like mirror ladder?
Yeah.
How there's like bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, legend. It's all in there. It's like having a whole other ladder. I'm like, oh no. Why? Why have you done this with the same sort of thing? Every single chest you open has the bigger rewards, the more packs. They're smart. They're so smart.
Whenever I saw what the rewards were, I was like, man, I want to just level my dudes up and have like a really wide and deep collection. But I kind of want to play PvP now to go for those rewards. But I think I'm going to keep on grinding PvE because it's been, a lot of fun.
You could make like a final push. Like once you grind all your PvE stuff, you could spend the last week doing like PvP if you wanted to.
Yeah. Well, like I said, like 11 of them to level 30 already. it hasn't really been that long, and most of it, I'm going to be honest, I've been playing that demon comp more than anything else, right? Those were already 30 and just grinding with 30, just playing through more and more stuff. So I imagine that I'll be able, whenever I'm focusing on just like leveling a whole lot of different things up, that it'll happen a lot quicker. But also then I'm gonna have to get the equipment, and so that'll take a while.
Yeah, it'll be a bit, but I'm sure since there's only the 52 or so characters, they know they're gonna add more to the game. They know people are gonna max these guys out, and
Yeah.
it'll be a thing.
Now, I mean, it is a fair assessment. You can spend your coins to craft it if you want. Now, if you go around the map and click on the different bosses, like the treasure chest, it'll show you who you get coins for. And so if you're looking to farm a particular merc, you can just play that specific mission over and over and over. So there's that. It's definitely a time sink, and that's okay, I think.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I'm kind of curious at how often they're going to release new content for it. Part of me wants it right away. Part of me wants them to wait a little bit. Like, there's only, so much money I can spend on this.
Yeah, I would bet next expansion was when after the whatever will be the next expansion. I think they release the new Murc stuff.
That would make sense.
I wonder if they'll want to somehow space it out a little, because they always try to put focus on one thing, right? Like, they didn't talk about the mini set because they were talking about Murcs. So, like, I don't know how they want to do it, if they want to put more focus on whatever the next expansion is and have Murcs at the same time, or space it out. I don't know.
There's the engineering problem too. That's why they said they delayed the mini set, because they didn't have enough engineer staff to make both the mini set and Murcs at the same time.
Yeah.
There's a marketing too. It makes no sense to release the same things at the same time.
Yeah, we only have so much playtime. Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, if they release both Murcs and the mini set, I'd buy the mini set, but I think I'd just be playing Murcs instead. Because
Can we do a Samuro? Can we do a Samuro and add a mirror image?
Right.
One to Ladder, one to Murcs.
That's funny. Oh, that reminds me. I saw somebody post today that there's a tiller combo in Mercenaries. I probably should
What is
not,
it?
I probably shouldn't even share it. So it hold on. Let me find where I had it here. I thought it was pretty funny. Hold on. Let me check my screenshots. Maybe I didn't share it in the Discord after all, but I found it. So hold on.
I remember, didn't they say that they think that the way the matchmaking system is, there shouldn't have to be a lot of balance in the game? I recall them saying. But I'm sure if there's some sort of broken combo, they're probably going to have to step in if it's actually that nuts.
I wouldn't be surprised if they change a couple things. Oh yeah, it was Yada that posted Zyrella's Hysteria with Samuro's Whirling Blade. So Hysteria makes everything attack each other, and Whirling Blade makes him invulnerable for that turn. And so they keep attacking until something dies, or until, I don't know, something like that. I haven't tried it myself. I just saw it. But because Samuro would be invincible, it just keep attacking into everything and not die. So I suppose I have not tried it yet. That Zyrella Samuro combo seems kind of broken to me, or very good at least. But
free.
if you're playing against the computer, and free as well, then it's not a big deal. And then people are going to start, using it in PvP and then trying to counter it in PvP. So, starting to see like a week 1 meta form. I've not played very much PvP at all, but I've watched a lot of people. We'll see. Yeah, I know. I heard that they had done changes pre-launch. I think Diablo was one, and I think there were more. I don't recall off the top of my head, but I'm sure that we'll see potential balance changes. which is normal in any sort of online competitive type of game, right? So
Yeah, it is normal, and like you said, there were a handful of nerfs compared to the data mine. So I wouldn't be surprised from kind of that aspect. But they did say something along the lines of that they don't anticipate doing balance changes, because they were just going to release content or something like that. But basically saying like, yeah, we're not going to nerf it, which seems like it could be potentially broken if there's something like the Samuro, the Tiller combo that you were just describing with Samuro and Zyrella, right? So
right.
we'll see how long it takes them before the nerf hammer comes down there as well. Only time will tell.
Yeah.
And what the compensation will be if they do nerf something like. How will that be compensated whatsoever? Will it? I don't know. I'd have to imagine so, because the amount of time you have to grind in, like let's say you just dropped monies and just got all the coins for everything. You still have to grind it up to 30, and then you still have to grind up the tasks in order to unlock all of the equipment, right?
And there's not just like one currency like dust. There is coins for everything. Right? So like what would they do? That's
You just remind me a magic card flavor text. It was sorry we burned your village. Here, take some gold. Okay, your Murc was broken. Here, take some coins.
Take some gold. Take some coins. Yeah.
That's
Well, let's move over into some meta discussion and decks of the week.
Yeah, we have a little bit here. So actually, I had missed it up until earlier, but a couple of things here. So there is a new Tempo Storm meta snapshot. It is of the 12th, so 3 days ago. No real surprises here. So looking at it, tier 1, they've got listed as Odd Questline Hunter, which makes sense. And what we had been saying in the past is that the deck is really good. People are learning how to play it, and then people are starting to counter it now. And then you can't find it. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, if it was a real deck, it could be a tier 1.
And so the title of their snapshot is it says the hunter becomes the the hunted becomes the hunter. That's pretty funny. Yeah, right, because people are targeting this deck now, right? So in tier 1 they've got listed as Odd Questline Hunter, followed by Reno Even Warlock, and Questline Pirate Warrior, which sounds just about right. Tier 2 they've got as Ignite Mage, and then tier 3 has like 400 decks in it, so I didn't expand it. But I think that's about right. I don't know. I don't really see any surprises here.
It feels weird. Hunter tier 1. It's so weird.
Right?
I know. It's been so long.
It's been the deck for so long.
Yeah.
It's been since like Undertaker Hunter that Hunter had the tier 1 deck, right?
Yeah, that's since while exists Hunter, I think. Yeah, I the only time I played something that was winning but was off meta was when Barnes was still 4 mana, and there was the Spell Hunter.
Yeah,
but you would go Barnes for Star Arch and Master Skull, which would cover Barnes. But other than that, I don't think I've seen another Hunter deck doing well.
Yeah, it's been ages, so I don't know. Yeah, if you need Hunter wins, if you're trying to grind out that 500 portrait or 1K portrait, now's a good time to do it. Although people are starting to counter or attempt to counter it. The deck is really strong, though.
I think it's funny when people are getting angry. There's Hunter everywhere. Too much Hunter. It's like, okay, come on. Whatever. Warlock has been the top of Wild since Wild existed. Let's let Hunter, which has been the bottom of Wild, have some time to shine. Okay,
Yeah, give it a little bit of time in the spotlight. Like,
and Warlock's still on top also. So whatever, it's also in tier 1. So
It has 2 different decks
it's
in tier 1.
different decks.
Granted, even and Reno even, but still 2 technically different decks.
Yeah,
And
I'm
Dark
actually-
Layers exists.
yeah. I'm glad that Reno's playable again.
yeah,
I
me
think
too.
that's pretty cool. I was afraid Reno would never be playable again, so it's neat to see it back.
I think I said on a Discord another day. I hate playing against Reno, but I'm glad it's back because
Yeah,
it's one of the most recognizable cards in Wild. I think it's like a Wild without Reno is not Wild, right?
yeah, and it's good for the meta to have the balance.
Yes.
If you can't play Reno, then it's just going to be a broken meta. So it's cool that it's possible to play it again, and obviously winning.
Well, very cool. Yeah. So the other thing, if you're looking for decks to play, our buddy Slizzle posted a new video, which is always really fun. So he's got his video. Let me post the little picture up here real quick. Of all these decks to play, there's so many of them. Like, they take up the entire screen here. But he's got a new video called Best Wild Stormwind Decks for October 2021. So if you're looking for stuff to play, I recommend this because it's fun. He'll go through them all, kind of talk about them, what's cool, what's good, what's not. And I like this. It seems like a good resource. And we'll have links to it in the show notes. It's on his YouTube. If you look up Slizzle466 on YouTube, you'll see them all, and they're good versions of meta decks. And so, yeah, good times for me personally. I haven't played a whole lot of ladder. I'm like camped out in like top 200. I was mostly playing aggro priest, and what I've spent the last week learning. I shouldn't say learning because I knew how to play, but I'm trying to figure out the new version of Celestial Alignment Druid. Spent the rest of my dust. I was sitting on a ton of dust, and I spent like all of it to craft this deck. Hold on, where did it go? I have my mercenaries deck in here that I'll show you, but it's basically a Malygos Druid. And now it's all blinged out in gold.
Let's go.
Which was so expensive in terms of dust, but it looks so pretty. So yeah, 2 Alex, 2 Mally. So I've seen a lot of different versions of this
8
deck.
legendaries in gold.
Yeah, now a couple of these I did not craft because like I had packed them for whatever reason. Like Omu, I got it, and I haven't used it like in forever. I don't recall where I got this list. I've seen a lot of Celestial Alignment lists. A lot of them were running Anacondra, which this one is not. A lot of them were running different cards. A lot of them do not run Alexstrasza, but I like the combo. I like the combo quite a bit. I mean, essentially you like alignment and then you mana ramp with Nourish or with Mana Saber or with Biology Project. And then you're just drawing a bunch of cards and playing a bunch of cards. So you can, Malygos, Alexstrasza, and hit them with... I think the only direct damage spells are Swipes and Ultimate Infestation.
Yeah.
But, that's all it really takes when you've got a Malygos. So...
and Alexstrasza the Lifebinder.
That's true, yeah. The one Alex to bring him down to 15 will do half the work for you. So
What's the plural for Malygos? Maligai?
Malygis.
A whole flock of them.
Yeah. So this has been fun. It's
A gaggle of them.
a gaggle of Malygis. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the perfect version is. I should ask Burnt or somebody who's a druid expert. This is kind of what I've settled on. I kind of feel like I'd like another Mana Saber, but I don't know.
Okay. I've got a visitor here.
Oh, who you got?
Yay! Say hi. Say hi to folks. Hi.
Oh, hello.
Greetings, traveler.
Oh,
Okay. That's Snow, not the John.
that's great.
How you doing here?
Anyways, yeah, so that's me. That's kind of what I've been playing this week. Yeah. What I'm really curious to talk about is this Murloc Paladin list, because like you've been playing this how long now? A year? Every month for a year?
Yeah. Like I say, before that, I played a lot of Wild. When I released my strategy guide, I had a lot of questions about Wild, so I had all the cards. I played mainly Druid. I think I played all the combo Druid decks there was. I played when the Naga Sea Witch was raging. I played Druid Naga, and I was actually
I remember.
yeah, I played the Star Aligner and all the Malygos combos. Everything that was combo, I was playing, and I played a lot of big priests and a big hunter. I played that too, and I was playing big shaman when I saw that list on Twitter. It was September last year, and since then. That's the only thing I have played was Murlocs from then on. It was it was last year's. It was just after Skullomance, because the card that boosted the deck was Hayab as the Lura.
Yeah.
So you had 3 ways to cheat the combo instead of just the lance. And that's it. And the deck got some pretty good tools after that, and and also it got hit by a lot of nerfs that wasn't meant to it, but it was got caught on the crossfire.
Yeah.
Aluru got nerfed because of the cheese paladin, which I also had a bit of guilt on that one. because I saw this list on Twitter, and it was doing okay, and but in standard, and it was playing like first day in school to trigger Allura, and I said, well, why don't you run one makers, which I was running Wild to complement the hydrologist. And after I changed the first days, which caused the Allura to miss like 50% of the time into one makers, I started winning in standard a lot. I went from 2000 to 200 just playing Cheese Paladin.
Nice.
And then everybody started playing, and then it made Allura get nerfed. Oh damn!
Yeah, well,
I broke it. You're playing 2 breaks there.
Oh,
And
that's funny.
Crab Rider was also very good.
Oh, Crab Rider was insane.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I still play it sometimes because I need some rushing and early game control, but it's not the same thing. The double the double strike though with Fury when it came from Tip the Scales was awesome, especially when it got some buffs. And the last nerf that I've got was on the Far Watch post, which is a tech card, but when everybody started playing, I tried, and it was great because I had a lot of trouble playing against Warlocks, and the 2/4 Watch post was awesome against, and they don't. There was no easy answer to do it, and it slowed the deck a lot. And I still play sometimes with the Watch post even after the nerf. And the last nerf that almost killed the deck was when the car set was released, and they changed Blue Warrior to Rush.
Oh no, yeah, that was scary for a bit there.
Yeah, that would like kill the deck because the charge damage is relevant a lot of the times. There's especially against those decks that go low on life like Dark Lair and most of the warlocks that life tap aggressively. Sometimes you just find two rushers and kill them in one swoop. And there was a big uproar on Twitter, and they reversed that. I think that it was a bad call from because there was no reason to change that. They could just do what they did after just releasing different cards with the rush.
Yeah. Bluegill Warrior and Stone Tusk Boar weren't the problem in Wild, at least, right? So I agree. Reverting that change is a welcome relief.
Yeah, well, and I'm curious to see when we get the standard rotation this next time if any of these like will get reverted.
I'm campaigning for Allura. Right. And even now, because she doesn't see any play in standard, since you don't have big spells to cheat like typical scales. The expensive spells in Paladin or Priest aren't game breaking like that. So you can add a 4/7 taunts or 7 or 5/2/2 adventures, and I tried that for a while, but it didn't work out. It's not a typical scales, just choose.
I always forget that Hayabusa Allura is a dual class card. I always think of it as Paladin only, but it's Priest as well. I forget.
Oh wow, I forgot until you just told me that.
Yeah, because there's a version of Questline Priest that's running her. I think Kibler was playing that deck. Mr. Guy played that on one of his Walk to Work podcasts.
Yeah.
And the only spell you have there is the 7 mana,
the Eloquent,
and the quest line reward. So Allura can she can insta kill after you resolve the Zyrella.
Oh gosh, wow. Yeah, I remember Kibler playing that as well, and
it's a bad deck. I tried. It's not good.
So what is the combo in this? I mean, or can you tell us a little bit how to pilot this? I mean, I know the goal is to try to cheat out tip the scales, right? But how does that all work? If you could explain it briefly.
There's actually two tip the scales decks. There's the OTK. We just run the chargers and buffers, but if you Magical Christmas Land, if you could land a tip the scales with all the Murlocs still in the deck, that would be little, but you just draw some 4, and then you end up backing up to anything can happen to get a full combo to finish the opponent. But that's kind of slow. And there's the version which I'm running with. I call aggro combo, because there are some games you win just by going aggro, like you curve out some Murlocs into Megasaur on turn 4 and just kill them. And it happens more often than you think. I've get called high roll deck a lot, and yes, indeed, you aim to high roll a prismatic lens into tip the scales, or Hayabusa Allura into tip the scales, or sometimes she misses the tip, hits a lens, which sets up the tip for the next turn.
Yeah.
And just high roll, but when people were playing third turn triple giants, they weren't being called high roll, okay? And that was happening even more times than I get tip the skills early on. But the combo is that with the only spell you have in your deck is Lance and tip the skills. So when you draw prismatic lens, you will find tip or another lens. So you have there's the concern of the average cost of the cards in your deck. If you run too many high cost spells, that you can fumble the lands. It happened when I was running Lothab, and now that Allure is 5 mana, it happens time to time. And there are times when you draw both tip the scales, and that happens quite often. But there are games that just extended, and you just go tip for 8 mana, and it wins there. That tip the scales is just game winning against most of aggro decks. Most of the aggro decks can handle. So I've actually have now a good matchup against Pirate Warrior. Pirate Warrior was a bad matchup before the quest line was introduced, as is now Aggro Priest is a tough matchup because those decks can kill you before you can tip the scales.
Yeah, so fast.
And before there was Dragon Fairy, I was campaigning for a taunt Murloc because you didn't have any, and there was times when I could make an early tip and still lose to aggro druids and big druids or Pirate Warrior because they would just run over all your stuff. And so I was trying to run more rush stuff, but then Circus Amalgam kind of solved that problem. And after Barons was released, there was a new card that was, I call it key card, which is the Lushwater Scouts, because
it's so good.
It's good. It's good in this deck. It's because it's not for the Murlocs you play, but for the ones you summon. So anything that comes from your deck or from the hero power of your Vilefin Inquisitors, they get rush. The second life of Mermies get rush as well. So that injected a kind of make tip the scales even more of a board control tool, and eventually a kill card. So running against most of the aggro decks like Odd Paladins, Odd Rogues, Pirate Warriors, those that can't kill you before you can play an early tip, it's a good deck there. And Odd Hunter is a good matchup because they don't have answers to tip the scales. Most they can do is play Unleash the Hounds, but that usually can't clear your board. Power Shot rarely can clear your board, so you just power through with an early tip the scales. And the latest addition to the deck was the Mailbox Dancer, because before that I was running Wandmakers as an extra Allure activator, and also those were cards I used to power the combo through counter spells or Omayogs. So I played many times that I was playing against Dex Paladin or Secret Mage, and just Janus Secrets to pop the counter spell and play the tip on the same turn, or setting up a lens. And as it was recorded on on a Twitch stream that I was playing against others, there's the chance for a third turn kill, for third turn tip the scales with Mailbox Dancer.
Wow.
Because
with the coin, right?
Because with the coin. And so I play a second turn Mailbox Dancer. I had already the coin, and I made the calculations. It's about, if you have all your 1-drops in the deck, it's about 17.5 chance of going a third turn tip the scales if you have Mailbox Dancer and the coin.
Wow.
And there were times where I could make a second turn because of my opponent helping me, like Dirty Rat on Allura, and then I just coin for the second turn tip. But the most common is against Druid. When they see, it's a Paladin, I would just play Biology Project, and there's nothing he'll do about it. And then I just jam lands into second turn tip, and that happens a lot.
I feel fortunate to have witnessed this.
Yeah, I would just I was just checking my stats, and I was doing positive against Druid most of the times because I was jamming early tips because of biology projects, or sometimes just a tip out of the alignment and killing them before they got their turn.
Yeah. Okay.
And but on the other hand, you have problems with those decks that can easily wipe your board, and the file is the biggest offender.
Oh yeah.
Especially because I was running Mermies. Mermies are very good against aggro metas, and it was a good card against Dark Glare and the lots of one life minions.
Mermies.
But it's at 1 mana, 1/1 reborn.
Yeah.
But it's a liability against the file because it feels just the one and the 2 life for the file. So a Mermy out is easily you can play around the file. So from the list,
I was just gonna say Mermy is so good though with Lushwater Scout.
yes,
Because you can
it's
use it twice in the same turn. Like I played a bunch of Murloc Shaman at one point, and like people were like cutting these cards, and I was like, why? They're so good.
No, yeah, with Scout Mermy is great, but since I was this month I was facing most of my opponents were even locks or even Reno locks.
Yeah, almost half, right?
Yeah,
You said 47%. Jeez.
This month is 37% of warlocks.
Okay.
It's a lot.
A lot, yeah.
So the last time I was playing, I was trying Toxfin in place of Mermies to just deal with giants. And I was playing Crab Riders because the second deck I was facing most was Pirate Warriors. So having the early rushers, and sometimes you don't hit the Lushwater Scout, or you just hit in a bad position on tip the scales. It happens time to time. And you need some extra rushers to deal with their board. So right now I'm running Crab Riders and Toxfin on the list I post on my guide. I have posted a guide on hearthstonedecks.net, the Neon 31 website.
Yeah, we'll share the link in the show notes for sure as well.
Yeah, from that list, I say I have 6, maybe 7 flex slots, which are the Mermies, the Watch Posts, and the Amalgams. I like running Amalgams because of what I said. It's a big taunt. You don't have any other taunt options to pull from tip the scales. It does have the problem of raising your curve. From time to time, you hit lands into lands, and then you hit a 4-drop, and then you just get too slow and you just die before you can do something. But I think the pros outweighs the cons on running amalgams. But there's lots on the Mermies and the Firewatch Post, and maybe one of the weapons are flex slots. I like the weapon a lot because you don't have many third turn plays, and sometimes you just don't want to play minions because you want to have more board space for the scales. Like when you're off the coin, it's very common. You go turn 1 minion, turn 2 minion, turn 3 weapon, turn 4 lance for the 5th turn tip the scales. And so the weapon don't fill your board. It's good to have some face damage because mage is a tough matchup.
Yeah.
It got worse because APM mage was easier to deal because they weren't playing Frost Novas, and some were even cutting the ice block, so that was okay to deal with. Then the nerfs to water hit and people changed to Mozaki, and that was bad because of the Frost Novas. And now there's Ignite Mage, which combos so easily on turn 6, so they don't even run Frost Novas. They just bank on the ice blocks, and play like 1 or 2 spells and then combo out of nowhere. And some of the wins I get against mages were the times when I was running low fabs or neophytes, and sometimes you just get eye for an eye from hydrologist. You pop the block at 1 life, and you cast eye for an eye, and there's nothing they can do. And I've done that more. I've done that more times than I can remember.
Nice.
Really,
It feels so good.
I've done once 3 times the same day.
Wow. That day you must have felt like a rock star.
No, yeah, it was awesome because it's a bad matchup. When you beat, so you feel, yeah. And gladly, the worst matchup is absent with Big Priest. Big Priest is a nightmare of a matchup, and the meta isn't quite good for it, so it's not been around. It's good. But yeah, the main point of the deck is you have to bank on getting early tip the scales. Well, quite before Stormwind was released, I could sometimes I was keeping lots of 1-drops just because of having the tempo play was important, especially against Dark Glare. So you didn't hard move for the combo pieces. You would move the 2-drops, but you keep at least 1 drop. Now the meta got a lot faster. I'm just going all in for the combo. So it's important to have Allura as well, so you can have extra combo pieces. And on the games you are without the coin, I keep Hydrologist or Mailbox Dancer as well, because since you don't have your free coin, you have something to trigger if in the case you draw a looter. And that's it. As I said, it's not the best deck, but it serves me well, and my goal is to take it as high as possible. I know I have the skill to play with something else and do better, but it's not what I want. So I'm not playing for money. I'm not playing for anything else except for my self-satisfaction. And since I started playing this deck, I have felt something I was missing in Hearthstone, which was fun. I have a lot of fun with this deck. I even posted sometime back again in Twitter. I think it's on my guide as well, because sometimes I just play on autopilot because I have to play to get to 11 stars, and then like that. Okay, it was on autopilot and nothing. There wasn't a clear goal. Now with this one, I have fun, and I want to say, okay, I'm gonna. If someone has to carry the Murgogo flag, the Murgogo banner, I'll be that one, and then I try to be as high as possible. I was getting good finishes, and I got cut a bit later months do all the stuff I already discussed here, but it's okay for the meta. It's a role player, and one of the good things I have when I was on the streak of good finishes is that I got to meet a lot of people online and added as friends. So most of this guys were talking about NHL. But Beauty was a guy I think I played like 5 times a day when he was tearing the meta with the hand buff Paladin. I play him a lot.
Bodybuilder, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started joining all those Discord channels. Blister Guy, I think it's my favorite Discord channel to.
Oh, he's awesome.
He's great. Yeah.
I know him from match coverage from long ago. When every time there was a championship in Australia or New Zealand area, he was doing coverage.
Mm-hmm.
So I know him from there, and his Discord is awesome. And one thing I took upon when the pandemic hit was listening to podcasts. I was just because first on the Vicious Syndicate podcast, I like before a while ago I wrote meta analysis for a Brazilian website, and my search was mainly the Vicious Syndicate. I always credit them. It said this is the kind of data I like to bank my analysis on. And when they started their podcast, I started listening and started linking one another. So I found the Angry Chicken, then Coin Concede got Born to Be Wild. So mostly of my weeks is just like, okay, when will be the next podcasting going online, because I need something, and especially the days we are home, or I usually put one when I have to wash the dishes or have to walk the dog. So, or when I have to do my exercise, it's great to have something to listen while you do that stuff. And while I was in the hospital, particularly the times when my wife wasn't there, or she was asleep, or doing anything else, having those things to take my head off of the situation was great. So yeah, I liked it. I've thanked all those casters, and you are a big part of that one too. So
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, it was great. And this knowing all these people and getting to interact with them and being a part of this community, to me is the best of this all. As I said, Magic for me is more about the gathering today than the Magic in Hearthstone. Is, to me, is now closer to the being to the hearth.
Yeah,
That's great.
that's awesome.
Hey, can I ask you a follow-up question? The name of your deck here, like, I read the story on your YouTube page, but if you could tell us for the show, because it's
sure.
I love it. I would love for you to tell it though.
Yeah. Okay. See, Tip the Scales is as almost all the Murloc cards. It's a pun. They love all those. The fins and tip and scales and all those things, but
right. Any fin can happen. Every fin is awesome, right?
Yeah, and it could not be translated well into Portuguese, so they went a different route. The localization team for the Portuguese translations is very good. Even from the WoW translation, they made like. Dwarves have this accent, so they took an accent from the region of Brazil to make that accent. The trolls have another accent, so they took the surfer dude's accent into the trolls. Since there wasn't a Haitian community here to have the voodoo stuff to link to that, and all these things, and the same with the cards. Even some flavor text from the cards, sometimes they go another direction because there is the joke cannot be translated. And the same thing, what they did. There's a famous singer here called Fagner, and his most known song is called Quem me dera ter peixe, which means I wish I was a fish. And they made the card to the scales in Quem dera ter peixe. I wish I had a fish. So, when I started playing that, okay, I'm playing Fagner here, right? So I usually call in Portuguese. I call tip. I'm playing Fagner. Okay, Fagner, and so they became the Fagner Blues. With the extra pun of it's the song and it's the blue fish people, the Murlocs.
It's so great. I love it.
I wish I had a fish.
And a blue third too. Perfect.
And there is this. I've added the song. I wish I was a fish is the song that opens my YouTube channel. I post some videos after I was doing well with the deck. I found the posting bug in me. Okay, I'm gonna reopen my YouTube channel. It got stopped after all the COVID thing, but I plan on making videos again. I'm just trying to. I try to find what I'll focus on, but the song that opens the video is the Fagner song.
That's so good. I love that. I absolutely love it.
I can send you the link later so you can add the song to
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, no, I want to see it now. I'd love to listen to it. That's wonderful.
I was it.
Very cool.
I wish I had a fish.
Very good. Before we move on, Hydra or Sheep, do either of you have any questions about the deck or anything, any follow-up?
To me, it just looks like great old tip the scales, prismatic lens combo. I love playing it, and I'm really stoked that you're playing a deck that you find fun. You don't feel forced to play something that's, the top tier meta decks, and you're super successful with it. So I think that's really awesome, and that sort of like inspires me, because sometimes I'll just sort of turn to, hey, what's top tier right now, right? And so I think that's really cool that you're playing the deck that you love, and you play it quite successfully. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I leave that to standard. Standard, I go for the high tiers. There, I'll go through all the data reapers and go, okay, how can I break this meta? But for a while, I keep with the fun part. And I have all the cards, so if I want to play something else, I did before, but I just want to play fishes.
Yeah, I really like the hydrologists and the mailbox dancer instead of the wand maker. Kind of like you were saying, especially because the wand maker pool in Wild is so deep, and sometimes that's an unplayable card. Whereas with a hydrologist and mailbox dancer, you know exactly what you're going to get. So I really like that iteration that you've made there. And I think that's really a dynamic way of adapting the deck to make it even more powerful than it was before. So kudos there.
I was looking at these. We have our one of the Murlocs is a 2-mana 3/2 called Lushwater Mercenary. And so, like, there's such a good play on words here, right? Born to be mercenaries. It's so good.
Wow.
It's like just too good to pass up.
I think I know what your mercenary comp is going to be called, Eltinho.
Yeah, there are some nice flavor text, like from the Vile Inquisitor. No one expects the Vile Inquisition.
Vile Think. That's great.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. That's so good.
Oh, one thing I forgot to since you are just wailing all the gold stuff. This is the first time this deck's the first deck I have all in gold.
Nice.
I have been free to play since Hearthstone released. The first time I've actually spent real money with Hearthstone was in Stormwind. After I got released from the hospital, I said, okay, I'm gonna give me some something now for this ordeal. So for the first time, I bought with money. Before that, I have been free to play and grinding arena since ever, getting my stuff. But when the core set released, I took all the cards that were doubled and dusted, except for the ones I used in Classic, because my line of thought, oh, but what if those cards don't return? I say, okay, most of these cards, if they don't return, they don't play in Wild at all, like Giron Fordring or cards like that. And if they are playable later and don't return, I'll craft them later. So I got a lot of dust. I said, okay, I'm gonna since I'm just playing this, I can spend some dust into guilding this. So I was guilding piece by piece. And after I got the extra dust from not having to spend my gold buying Starwind cards, I finished the deck. So for the first time, I have a golden deck.
Awesome.
Nice.
Feels good. That golden
That-
coin.
Yeah, it feels
Golden
good.
coin's incredible.
It's
Yeah.
nice.
Especially if it's a deck that you love, I think that, it's not for everybody, but if there's like, you've been playing this for a year now and like this, if this is your favorite thing, absolutely, totally worth it. I think that's
Yeah,
wonderful.
but I still have to spend some dust to get this Toxfin gold. But I first test and then not golden because I want to see if they are worth it. But if they are, I'll guild them.
Nice.
Smart.
Very good. Well, hey, we are running a little bit long. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But I want to keep the show moving a little bit. So, Sheep, if we can talk about the deck that you were playing just briefly, since it's standard, but I'm really interested to see it and chat briefly about it.
Yeah. So the deck that I brought was it's called Sheep. There, it's a Death Rattle Demon Hunter, and it's a homebrew. So it's got a lot of the standard Death Rattle Demon Hunter shell, right? The Devouring Ectoplasm, the Razorfin Beastmaster, the Death's Head Cultist, stuff like that. And of course, at the top, it's got the N'Zoth, God of the Deep, and Illidari Inquisitor. So, of course, also got that Death Speaker Blackthorn in there to just dump a ton of cheap death rattles onto the board really quick. What kind of sets this one a little bit more apart, a lot of them have been running Talon Forging in the past. I think the archetype has kind of gotten a little bit away from that. But the real kind of thing that shines here is the Claw Machine. That's what kind of makes this build a little bit more my own. Is it the best inclusion? No. Is it a fun inclusion?
Yes.
Yes. And whenever I climbed, it performed pretty well. Playing a Claw Machine, popping it, getting a Fell Rattler, getting basically like 2 trades in one, and then sticking a big minion was pretty kickin' rad. Doing the same basic thing, but getting a buffed up Talon Forging also worked out pretty well. But I can't think of any times that it actually like kind of bit me. Instead, like, the real kind of danger for running the Claw Machine and Talon is that whenever you play your Tusk Piercer, you boop on 1, and then you boop on 2, and then what you get is too expensive to either pull from Razor Boar or too expensive to play. It's not Razor Boar itself, right? I never really ran into that, but that's something that I was really worried about. Pretty much the whole climb was whether pulling Claw Machine would kind of make Tusk Piercer a little bit less consistent. And while it may have, the only time that I drew it from Tusk Piercer was later in the game when I could play I could play Tusk Piercer, or I could play the Claw Machine after popping the Tusk Piercer anyway. So that I never really kind of got bit from that, but that's the kind of a risk that you take whenever you're running this a little bit different build of Death Rattle Demon Hunter. So it's a really fun one. Not necessarily the most competitive variant, but also I climbed really quickly with it too. So maybe I just ran into a really friendly pocket meta, or maybe it Death Rattle Demon Hunter as an archetype, not necessarily this build, is a little bit better situated in the meta than I was anticipating. Either way, it was a lot of fun, and I haven't climbed to standard or to legend in standard with a homebrew in a while. I've done it with in wild, our format, fairly consistently, but it's been a while since I've done it with a homebrew in standard. That's why I brought this one, because it was one I actually built myself, and
There's
it's been a while since that's happened in Standard.
Yeah, there's something special about hitting Legend with like a homebrew deck. I've only done it once. I did it with Odd Demon Hunter way back when, but it was the version that I had built with cards that other people weren't running, and it was fun. It was like, oh, cool. I'm actually good at this game. Okay. I love that you included. When you first showed me this, was like claw machine. What? It was like oh god, here it goes. I'm gonna have to craft these in gold because it's the only thing I don't have in gold. As it turns out, I had them, which was great.
Excellent.
But I love the inclusion of Newsoth because my favorite version of this deck was running the Phoenix Alar, and like. When you played N'Zoth, was bringing back Alar, it was bringing back the Quillbore, it was bringing back Inquisitor, and I just really liked it. It was like a secondary win con to the Inquisitors, and then people stopped playing it, and so bringing it back, it like checks that box for me. So I was really excited to see it. So yeah, congrats! It's very cool. I love it.
And Claw Machine can also run into Standard. Yeah, and Anaconda Druid it's just running it. Yeah.
Yeah, it contests it really nicely.
The only sad thing is you can pull it from Death Speaker. Just imagine if you could.
That would be incredible.
That would be awesome.
I actually don't know because I never pulled Fellsteel Executioner with my Claw Machine. I don't know if then you corrupt the Fellsteel Executioner if it's a buffed up weapon or not.
Yeah, I don't know that either.
I'm gonna have to try that out because if so, then I may end up cutting the Fellsteel Executioner because that was always played as the weapon itself. I never actually. Well, I played it onto board once and it was a mistake.
That being said, I mean it is an elemental, so it would come back.
It is.
What did we rate that card? We didn't rate it very high, did we?
Probably not, but
yeah. And this is Standard, so that still holds true. So yeah, it was a really fun deck, and like you said, Nate, it always feels kind of especially like, oh, I guess I'm all right whenever you have success with the homebrew. So
yeah. Well,
yeah, that's the one.
Very, very nice. All right. Well, if we can shift gears real quick and talk about our weekly challenge. So last week, we had Goliath on the show. We were talking about the lore behind the old gods, and the theme was corruption. And so our weekly challenge for last week was to play the most minions on the board as possible, but the most unique corrupted minions on the board as possible. At the same time, it sent us a copy of the board, and we had a few people participate, and I think it came down to Kenray, but also Goliath, who participated in this as well. And I'm very pleased to announce that our winner this week is none other than Goliath the Dwarf, who had the bigger board. They both had 7 unique minions, but Goliath's is bigger, and I don't see any issue with him participating in the challenge whatsoever.
The statues there?
There is I don't know.
You said you had to have a statue there.
It is, yeah, no, yeah, it's there, and the corrupted, or what is it called? I don't know the names of most of these cards.
It's
the strongman, of course,
but, isn't it?
But
something statue.
hey, first time on the first time win for Goliath, which is really great. And so we will get you a couple of packs, bragging rights, of course, and you get one of the new trophies would be plastered up on our website as well for winning this challenge. And so very good. Horrendous Growth that is on the board here is a 1615, which is a separate achievement all in its own, I believe, is to get a certain sized Horrendous Growth.
10-10, I guess.
I think, yeah, it was something like that, right? because what does it say? It can be corrupted endlessly or something like that. And so, yeah. Big shout out to Glide. That's awesome. And then to talk briefly about this week's challenge, wanting to make it Murloc themed here, and so we were sitting here chatting between segments on the show, and so here's a couple of ideas. I don't know what I think. I'd like Eltinho to make the ultimate call here, but here's a couple ideas. We could do the earliest lethal turn-wise with Murlocs, with the tiebreaker being the biggest attack. We could do having the most different Murlocs pulled from Tip the Scales. We could do having to get multiple Murlocs on the board with different mana costs. So what would you like to do here?
Yeah, Eltinho, you're the Murloc master. So what do you think on this one?
I'm suggesting to trying to pull Murlocs from 7 different costs out of Tip the Scales.
Ooh.
So you have to have Mutanus and 6 mana 2/3 from Old Gods that deals to damage at
Seer
5
or something like that.
at 5 mana you have Finja.
The flying.
Yeah, and 1 to 4 there's a lot of
Okay, so you want one of every cost to come out from 1 to 7.
From 1 to the scale.
I love it.
The tiebreaker is whether they're in mana order on board.
Oh, if you can get like the royal flush or whatever of Murlocs.
It's the straight flush.
The straight flush.
The straight flush,
3,
yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7, all in a row.
Whoever's the
From left
most
to
in a
right.
row. Yeah, we could do that. The most in a row, even if it's not perfect. But the most in a row.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. Okay, pull
I'm
7.
gonna try that.
All right, so here it is. Pull 7 different cost Murlocs from Tip the Scale with mana costs from 1 through 7, and bonus points if you get them all numerically in a row. Oh, I love it.
There's an innate cost if you add the prime to the deck, so we can do 2 for 8.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that would be the royal straight flush.
Oh, that's so great. All right, I love it. Okay, so here's how to participate in this. You've got to play games. You can play them either on ladder or you can play them in casual. We will not ask you to tank your rank. However, you may not play against a friend or the innkeeper or other PvE content because it's just too easy. We want you to take a screenshot, make sure that it's got your username on it and the screenshot, and then post it in our Discord under the weekly challenge section. And then we'll share the winner on next week's show. The easiest way to get to our Discord is to go to our website, which is borntobewildhs.com. Click on the Find Us page, and then there's a direct link to our Discord. It's also in the chat right now if you would like to join, if you're not already there. Post it in our weekly challenge section, and then we will announce the winner on next week's show. It's that simple. The winner gets 2 packs on us, and also bragging rights, of course. And so love to see this happen, and something new that we started to do also is make little award trophy things that will end up on our website, so you'll be immortalized there. If you're interested in seeing past challenges and past winners, again, go to our website. There's a button that says community, and a drop down there says Hall of Fame, and that's where it will be. So check it out. All right. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for us tonight. Before we end, I do want to say a big thank you. First off, to Shokunin, who is the executive producer of our show. Thank you for your continued support. We really appreciate you and all that you've done for us. And also big thank you to our patrons. So Disruptor 108, Claudette G, Daniel B, Wildcard, RM Warren, Ben from Work, Turtle Boy, and Number Theory. Thank you all so much. if anybody out there watching or listening is interested in supporting the show financially, you can visit our website at borntobewildhs.com. If you click on the Find Us page, there is a link to our Patreon. There are plans as little as $1 a month. If you're interested, there is no obligation at all, but we do appreciate any support. If you're somebody who is on Twitch a lot, we do have several emotes that you can unlock by subscribing to us, which are near and dear to my heart. I love working with the artist on these, and they're always so much fun. So if you're interested in those, you can subscribe to us on Twitch. And lastly, I would like to say a big, gigantic thank you to Eltinho for hanging out with us tonight. I thank you for your time and your energy and for hanging out and chatting with us. So we really appreciate it.
Well, it has been a pleasure and a great honor. As I said, I listen to the podcast every week, and it was great being here. And I'd like to make some thanks first
Of course, yeah.
to my wife and my dog. And a big thanks to my friends at the. We have a Hearthstone group called the Dennis Pyramid Scheme, or the old players of Artifact. Because one of our friends actually spent a lot of money in Artifact, and we mock him ever since. So I'd like to thank you, Daniel, Vander, Shishu, and Guilherme, but not Augusto, because Augusto said he wouldn't listen to the podcast. So
that's
no thanks to him.
Oh, boo.
And that's it.
That's great.
It has been great. I've loved it, and I hope to keep hearing from you guys, and maybe sometime in the future we have some more Murloc news.
Oh, definitely. Hey, where can people find you online if they want to follow your content? I know you've got a Twitter, and I know you got some YouTube and a guide for this deck as well.
I'm most active on Twitter. I'm like 24/7 on Twitter. It's Eltinho, because Eltinho handle was taken, and the O before is the article the in English, in Portuguese O. So there can be some Eltinhos around, but just one the Eltinho. So that's Eltinho, and that's my channel. You can search for the Fagner Blues on YouTube. I intend to post some stuff there, and I don't have a channel on Discord because I'm so many different channels. I don't think I can handle my own for now. So, but you can find me. I'm on the Born to Be Wild. I'm the Blizzard guy. On the Vicious Syndicate, and Meowths, and State of Wild too. So I'm in plenty of different Discord channels, but mostly on Twitter. The easiest place to find me is on Twitter.
Very, very good. Cool.
Oh, and you just brought the point of the zero cost. We're like, okay, it's okay. I think it's okay.
Hey, if it matches, right? You go 0 through 6.
Yeah, but if you get 1 through 7 or the 2 through 8, I guess that's it. Yeah, it's the tie break.
Yes, good call. I love it. Very, very good. Well, yeah, thank you again for joining us. It was an honor to hang out with you as well. I really appreciate it, and love spending the time. Sheep, where can people find you?
Yeah. Before going into that, I would definitely like to thank you, Eltinho, for showing us your Murgle master ways. Been a great time getting to know you better, and for talking about Hearthstone and life, and it's been a blast. So thank you very much for joining us.
Murgulstery?
I love it. As for me, I can be found on at Electric Sheep City at places that fits, like Twitch, and at eSheep City, where places that doesn't fit, like Twitter. Hydra, where around the internet can you be found?
You all can find me at hydralisk_HS on Twitter and Twitch, and you can find me and everybody else here in the Born to Be Wild Discord, which I highly recommend you all come check out. It's a great community where you can talk about the game or life in general. Many different channels where you can find all the different types of decks, and show pictures of your cat. It's a really good community. So if you're looking for one to come hang out in, please come check it out. And I want to echo these guys. Thank you, Eltinho, for coming on the show. It's been an absolute blast getting to know you more, and I want to continue, talking to you, whether on Twitter or in the Discord, in any Discord. So thank you once again for coming on the show. Nate, how about you? Where can people find you at?
Yeah, definitely. I would kind of echo that sentiment about Twitter. I'm probably more active than I should be, but if you want to interact with me, that's probably one of the better places. You can find me on Twitter at NateWolfTCG. It's NateWolfeTCG. I'm also very active in our Discord, so the Born to Be Wild Discord. Yeah, we have a lot of fun there. I actually did a little bit of house cleaning over the past week. It's reorganized a tiny bit, archived some old channels that weren't being used or some duplicate channels. Try to clean it up a tiny bit. There's a lot there. Could get a little bit overwhelming, but I think it's a lot of fun. We have a blast, and it's been very active. And so, yeah, always a pleasure to hang out with people, do some co-op games. Actually had a great time over the past week. Something like it's been an absolute blast interacting with people all around the world that I would have never thought in a million years that this would happen. Posted a video on YouTube a week ago or whatever. It was a guide to Odd Hunter. Had someone leave a comment saying, "Oh, hey, this is great, but I'm struggling with it. Would you be willing to do some co-op sometime?" And I was like, yeah, just join the Discord and we can, whether it's myself or someone else can jump in sometime and do some co-op or whatever. This guy's name is Metalikos 999, all the way out in Europe. Ended up joining the Discord. Myself, Blue Train, and a couple other people spent, I don't know, at least a couple hours doing some co-op over the weekend. And it was like, just, the places you go, the people that you meet, and all this is just really fun and really cool. And so we have a good time. And yeah, I always enjoy interacting with people. And I think for me personally, like, we'll hit Legend relatively early and kind of camp out. And so doing co-op is another fun way for me personally to engage with the game without, being stuck in like my little personal pocket meta. So I'm excited always to interact with people. And yeah. Anyways, one final thing that we like to do to close out the show is to do some shout outs for people. And this week is no exception. And so I wanted to give a big shout out this week to Andy Matthews, who is somebody that I follow on Twitter. He's a wild Hearthstone player, Hearthstone in general, but he posted earlier, I guess this was yesterday at this point, but it was a very vulnerable post talking about some anxiety issues that he was facing. And I wanted to message that not only does it take a lot of strength to come out and talk about these type of issues, but you're a strong person, you're a strong player, and you're also an amazing artist. So if you're looking at the screen, he did this artwork here, this painting of the Odd Hunter upgraded hero power, which he sent me a copy of the high-res artwork. I was like, I when he posted this initially, I was like, I want to buy this and hang it up on my office wall. And he's like, I will send you a high-res photo of it. So I'm getting this printed, and you'll see it behind me one of these days. But
That'd be so cool.
I love it because it's got that it's very artsy, and I love it. I just big shout out to Andy. You've got this. You were awesome, and I'm a fan. So big shout outs there. Yeah, that's about it for me. Hydra, anybody that you would like to shout out this week?
Yeah, so I know before Murcs launched, we had just the announcement, and everyone was really confused as to what actually was going on. So I wanted to shout out to the people that took their time to break it down and explain it. Trump made some really good videos, and so did Regis Kilbin. These guys, and I'm sure there are other people that took their time to really break it down and explain it to the masses when we didn't know coming from the devs right away. And so people like this, really helped us actually become more excited for the mode, and I really appreciate that. So, we kind of knew a little more what we were getting into, and I really appreciate the effort, because there's no way that was quick and easy to do. Pausing the video every 10 seconds to take a screenshot showing how this interaction worked and all these little things, right? Because we didn't know. So I feel like a lot of work went into all that, and I'd like to thank those guys for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Sheep, what about you? Anybody that you want to shout out this week?
Yeah, I would like to shout out YouTube. So shout outs to my co-hosts here for putting up with kind of a little bit more out-of-pocketness for me while dealing with the foot issue. Typically, I'm a little bit more plugged in. The past couple weeks, a little bit less so, because life is pain.
It do be like that sometimes, unfortunately.
Unfortunate, but true.
Yeah.
So definitely not how I like to operate, kind of on the reg. But I really appreciate y'all putting up with me in general, but especially whenever I'm a little bit more absent these past couple weeks due to the health stuff. So shout outs to y'all. So thank you very much.
We love sheep.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Love you
Yes,
too, buddy.
absolutely. We do. All right. Well, Eltinho, you get the final word here to wrap up the show. I know you gave a couple shout outs earlier, but do you have any final shout outs, any final words of wisdom that you'd like to share with us?
Okay, I think my final words should be I can't think of anything other than that.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Nailed it completely.
I can't tell if Nate's frozen or
He's not frozen, but he's broken. It's perfect.
He's drowning.
Oh my god. Oh god, I love it. Wiser words were never spoken. And you heard that on Board to Be Wild.